welcome to Starseed Evolution channel. I am Akasha Azurite. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone is feeling the high energies and the solar flares. So expand, you can say the word expansion, but it could feel like your spinal cord, that your spine is stretching, like your spine is this big. So there's lots of stretching in the heart and then stretching right in the middle where the higher heart chakra is. So everyone should feel their spinal cords feeling like they are stretching, and that could be back pain. So it could feel like lots of back pain, but it's so magical and so beautiful, the frequencies that's coming in, and it looks like neon cosmic rays, neon rainbow rays, and the Aurora lights. The solar flares has been intense for the past week, so I wanted to come on just a little bit early before we start doing our live session. And we have Morgan, beautiful Morgan is going to be with us, and our guest is Shannon. Yes, everyone. The reason why I wanted to come on is it's beyond words right now. So for the past 2 weeks, instant materialization, really fast. So keep your heart open. See how you can expand your heart center, because everything is instant materialization. So instant manifestation, but I want to say instant materialization with the creation portals fully open. So we can go even higher into the higher bandwidths and way beyond. So kind of stretching out towards the galaxies, and I'll go into that. But quantum jumping, multiple timeline jumping, I'm going to say multiple timeline jumping, but time warping. So learning how to warp. When you warp, you can multiple timeline jump. Today we're going to be quantum jumping 1,000 years, and we're able to set that that we want to jump 1,000 years. Eventually, you'll learn how to keep jumping, kind of to see how far you can go. So it's fun. Okay, yes. I see Mr. E. I'm glad Sarah has a new outfit. So kind of tips, a few tips. The loops, all of the loops and the energetic loops, the frequencies within inside of your body, where you feel like you're looping, your loops will be getting closer and closer together. Okay, so closer and closer and closer together. It can almost feel like as if you are seeing it multiple times. So the closer they get together, that's good, because that means it's breaking the energy down. But you'll feel like you're reliving the same loop every nanosecond, maybe every day or every 3 days, and you'll see it materialize. And that's where I said that the loops are getting closer and closer together. So most of the time you could see where you're looping. You'll be looping in your own loops. Looping in your own loops, and like multiple loops at the same time. And I feel like there's all different types of ways of getting out of the loops, and one of them is going to be is changing and shifting. So I always suggest buying a new outfit, always getting new clothes, new outfit, a color that you would never wear. That's one way you can learn how to get out of your loops. You can use a Rubik's Cube and get a Rubik's Cube and actually learn how to move it and to get out of your maze, because that's your maze. And you can learn how to bring it into the physical. So mazes and clothes, and you close your eyes and just ask your higher self, what item do I need to get out of my loops? What do I need to shift? So I got a flying pig today, a little trinket that's a flying pig, and I'll share it because it's so cute. It's a flying pig. It's a little tiny trinket, and I could see a flying pig, and I know that was the super system telling me, in order for you to break out of this loop or this maze, you have to get a flying pig. for the timeline. So it's a little tiny flying pig. Yes, I'm too, Shanti. Yes. Okay, yes. Patterns of disruption. Disruption, yes. All energetic patterns. Everything and anything with these solar flares, and this will actually be until after the spring equinox. Everyone should feel a release, and then we're going to be right back towards like April 20th. We'll be right back into the waves again. Yeah, so there's going to be multiple waves. So 2023 is massive waves, massive solar flares. So disruption timelines, yes. Convergence, yes, for some. It really all depends on where you vibrate at. So energetic patterns right now, if you kind of tune in, when you tune into the collectives, this has to happen in order for them to purify. Everyone has to go through a purification process. The reason is because the vibrational frequencies of the planet is getting higher and higher, and it's also within the universe now. So let's just say that there is major, let's just use waves for a minute. The bandwidths are actually shifting within the universe. So when you tune into the universe is, I call it the Aurora body. So that obviously is a higher plasma body. So the universe is constructing its Buddha body. Those of you that would know about a little bit about the light bodies, that would be the Aurora body, the plasma body. So I'm going to say higher bands, higher templates, and this is in certain areas. And it's multiverse. I'm going to go back into the universal structures just for a minute. That the universe also has multiple dimensions of itself too, but it's a merge. So it's a massive merging. So the bandwidths are, let's just say, becoming higher. So a higher light body within the universe, and everything's kind of merging together as one, and it's really beautiful when you tune into it. So it's going to be a higher system, which is assisting with the whole reconstruction. So let's say a reconstruction of the universal's Merkaba bodies. Hopefully that would be able to assist you to know that it's way far beyond out there. So what is happening is that anything energetic patterns, let's go into energetic patterns. Unconscious programming will come to the surface at a rapid speed for the next 10 years. 10 years and then 2038. So that we have, we're going to have major accelerations, and everything is at a light speed. So you really want to tune into the inner frequencies, with what is inside of you. Okay, so it's either blissful states of consciousness, or you are hitting the void really hard, because that void has to be deconstructed, and it's a deconstruction and then a reconstruction and a deconstruction and a reconstruction. So the energetic patterns have to be broken down. It's a beautiful experience, but for some that have no idea about ascension or anything, it's going to be, it will be difficult for them right now. And then also beautiful awakenings. So lots of people are coming online. All of the indigos and the Michael lineages and the blue rays are fully coming online. It's just they have their process too. So everyone has to master, and to be able to master the dimensions and master the 4D and to go into the new earth. So it's a purification, and we're in another purification right now. The one thing is that you can see it and you can choose. So I'm just going to say, you want to pay attention to the loops of your ego and the energetic patterns of your ego, and to see how you can stretch it and what is ego, and see if you can tune into those frequencies, just to sit there and learn how to break it down And you can do it in all different types of ways if you observe through vibrational frequency within the body. Yes, so we always say it's an illusion within an illusion within an illusion within an illusion. So an illusion, illusion, illusion. The reason why is because those are your veils, and that's how you're decalcifying. So it's really simple. Once you realize that you're decalcifying all of your crystallizations, your crystal star particles, you're decalcifying your multidimensional centers, and you're actually decalcifying your body, the physical body. To me, we're already crystallined. So they say that we're in a carbon base. The only thing is that I would see differently. So I could see everybody crystalline already. I just saw that you guys, everyone is just caked, and it looks like they're caked with density all over the body. So that could be the carbon system. I'm guessing is what it just kind of tuning into it. That's the way that I always saw it, is I could see the crystalline, but I could see density. So it really does look like you're caked with rock, like rock formation all over your body. Some of you guys can't even move. You won't even be able to move. And that's how you could feel stuck energy, but it's really just the caking, like the rock formation on your body. Once you start breaking and start to decalcify, you'll see it will look like liquid black coming off of you. And that's how you know you're decalcifying. So the veils, when they talk about the veils, they're actually talking about not just your pineal gland or your third eye vortex. They're talking about your full body and decalcifying all of your crystals within your body. And all of them have to go through a decalcifying process. So you will just know, eventually you'll see the density coming off of you. Your veils is the density. Your distortions is the density on the body. So hopefully that would be able to assist you guys. Yes. Geshanti, Shapushanti. You can do phase. It depends on what collective grid and what collective grid that you fluctuate in right now. Yes. So it's going to be bliss and void, bliss and void. You'll be in bliss, but you have to choose, right? So you will start to see everything that's out of energetic alignment. And that's the beautiful part about it, and then not the beautiful part. So you most of the time there's different parts of you within your body. Okay, so you have to choose. Eventually you're going to choose. You're going to choose the bliss. Are you actually going to choose the are you going to have to go choose the void space? The void space is what needs to be shifted and rewritten again. So to rewrite and to shift it out. Most of the time right now, everything will vibrate out. We're flying too high. So everything is in a high state. It's just you're just flying way too high, and it's like you're vibrating so high that everything will seem like it's moving out really fast. So or no one aligns. So so or soul contracts, I call it, no one aligns at all, and you could just see yourself there in like a void, not a void space, but like a blissful state flying, and it's just super silent frequencies, and you can feel the frequencies, feel everything coming in, but everyone's gone. So it could be like that for like a whole week, and you would be like, where is everyone, right? But you are anchoring in higher light. Hello, Morgan. Hello. I had to finish real quick. You look violet.
I know. Well, hello, hello, hello. You might remember this little poster. I put it up behind me. It's a little fuzzy, but there we go.
Yes. I think you're turning violet too.
Oh, I've got some lights on too. I've got some lights on that are violet. That'll be part of it. But I did have a big session today, so that's part of it too. Great.
Awesome. How are you? This is Morgan. Morgan's going to be coming into the beautiful space with me. I was trying to anchor in the frequencies of real quick and just kind of connecting. I was connecting to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of going into the chat and kind of tuning into the bliss and the void. And then I know we have Shannon on here, but let me let her in. Oh, I did. Okay. Hello, Shannon. Shannon's going to be our guest. Welcome to Starseed Evolution United channel. And it's so wonderful to be in the space with you and to be in the space with everyone. So thank you all so much for being here. You want to share a little bit about your experience? I know we're quantum jumping. So there's lots of multiple timeline jumping right now, which is beautiful. And what I was tuning into is how if everyone here, if you guys can see how you can go into the void space and you can see the frequencies that are running that are still distorted in your body, you can dismantle them really fast. Okay. And then go back into the bliss, keep that heart field open and start calling forth right now. Where and what, how do you see, hear, and feel, and to visualize? How do you visualize right now what your newer reality or your heaven on earth experience or higher vibrational reality, or what are you calling forth? What is your creation? What is your design? What are your co-creations? Keep the heart open, okay? And do anything and everything to keep it open, because you'll see that you go into a contraction. You want to pay attention to frequencies. And I have to say this, pay attention and really pay attention to those frequencies coming in, because those frequencies are inside of you. And those frequencies are running. So if you can feel very short anger, if you can feel anger, okay, or hatred, or let's just say separation and judgment, you just can feel it. That's still riding inside of you, and you want to just see it and go, thank you for showing me this. And these are just for certain frequencies, different discord frequencies. You want to see it and just shift it out. See if you can rearrange it or learn how to pull away and just say, thank you for showing me everything. And then you can kind of pull out and create from your heart, create from the heart center, or just visualize creating from the full body spectrum, the full diamond body spectrum of light and rainbows emanating, and really send that frequency, that stream of frequency out. Because right now it really is instant materialization for those higher dimensional timelines and the pure timelines. Okay, Morgan, what about you?
I'm agreeing. And so just in my own journey, like today, what I had was a major puzzle piece come in. And so maybe everyone else has got some puzzle pieces come in there. They're going, oh yeah, that's the one I needed. I don't know, for me, and just going back to the puzzle pieces, it's like I got 60 puzzles, jigsaw puzzles dumped on my table, but with no boxes, and they're all one big pile. And it's like I had to sort it out. That's my journey. And so I completed a major one today. So hopefully everyone else got something today too. And maybe we're able to give Shannon something as well. Yeah.
Yes. Shannon is just tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to tune in too, you can always share. Welcome. All of our beautiful family is here. Mm-hmm. All of the star seeds that tune in, and we have a beautiful family of light that are here on the chat. So you guys can always type in your experiences too.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to kind of tune in as we share.
I see a few names: Tiana, Kat, Anne. How's it going? Mickey. Names I know, but other people too. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being in this beautiful divine space. And it feels really flowy. It feels super flowy, but my heart felt like it was penetrating like pounds of gold light. You know, like in order to even do this live tonight, it my whole spinal cord was stretching, and I could feel the plasma currents, like just this, all the plasma, and I could feel my higher self coming in this morning, one of my highest versions of me. And it has been nothing but solar, like solar source light, like stars. Like if you were to tune into the stars, you ever seen a star supernova?
In pictures, yeah.
Okay, so that's what's coming through my spinal cord, and that's what my third eye looks like when I'm sitting and just, you know, walking around during the day. I'm just sitting there, and it looks like a supernova coming from my third eye as I'm talking to my councils at night, and I'm like, whoa, that's a big portal. It's like
That's super interesting because not only from your end, but I was tuning into Shannon a little while ago, and they showed me the moon in waning crescent. So the light's on the left side, dark on the right. And there was a star, but it was like a 5 point, you know, the gold stars you put, the teacher puts on the paper when you're like 6 years old or whatever. It was like that. It looked like that anyway. And so there's some images coming through definitely for you, Shannon. And maybe there's a star theme.
yeah, so that's from the multidimensional councils,
Okay.
the gold star. So that means you got a gold star. You have to go back, and she has to go back and review the past week, the previous one, the previous over the weekend. So she got a gold star. That's what they showed me when I pass a marker. They do. They go,
Good.
you get a gold star, but the gold star is our divine inner child. So that's your 5D.
Cool. You've already, it's not even 5 minutes, and you've got homework, Shannon. That's awesome.
I'm excited. Okay. You guys can you can always type in.
Mhm.
Just type in your experience. Listen to Shanti.
It really does feel like more of a tribe thing, Akasha, than like a client one-to-one session right now. So that's cool. Yeah. You're allowed to speak, Shannon.
Oh, sorry. That's awesome.
All right, I'm going to set up. I hope you're doing well. How are you doing? You feel great with the frequencies?
Yeah, it's been a weird week. Like, you know, I'm not necessarily as tuned in or anything as you guys or anything like that, but what I can tell you is something I remember you saying from a long time ago. It was like Friday night, or I don't know, something. And I just remember sitting here, like here in this chair, and it felt like my skull was like expanding out this way, like you said, like a cone head, like that kind of a feeling, like it was being built out backwards. And I was like, oh, this is a weird feeling. That happened. And then there's a lot of like some of those downloads that come in. I don't know what they are, I'll be quite honest, but I can feel it, like, whoa, it's like I have to like move my head to get like the right angle for them almost to come in. And then last night it happened. It was really weird. It happened again. It was almost like I had to tip my head back. Like I had to kind of push myself backwards. And then it's like I hit the right. It was like if someone was standing behind my head and like pulling my head back and trying to position me. And then all of a sudden I'm like, am I there yet? And then something passes through. I don't know what it is, and I don't know who it is, but yeah, that's what's been happening. So.
I always say that's your Syrian integration. So your Syrian head, if you've ever seen, have you ever seen Osiris? Oh, Osiris's lineage is also awakening right now. There is a lot of lineages that are coming online for the next recollaboration of the universe and the multiverse, yes, but it's a recollaboration of the whole universe. So Osiris, because there's a lot of a few years ago, I brought in a huge like a huge book with all these stargates to repair Isis's and Horus's lineages, and there was like many stargates that I brought in. So since then, a lot of their lineages have been able to start to activate. So I'm going to say different Syrian lineages, but there's multiple DNA lineages within that DNA, genetic DNA. But what I see is I see your Syrian. So they were like giving me pictures of Nefertiti. So Nefertiti's beautiful head, which they think is a headdress, but that's actually how large her head was. And those were the dressings that they wore. So they were showing me those. They were showing those images. So I'm going to say you're Syrian, and it could be Syrian A, B, or C, but I'm going to say just Syrian right now because these ones are a little bit bigger. So it's like your royalty. So that's your royalty lineages, your DNA coming online, but that is your higher self. So that's the highest version of you.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
is you. It's you, right? It's just you it's you behind you, and that's what your higher self is showing me. Is that your Syrian head? It's a royalty though, so it's a high royalty headdress. It's all crystallized and crystalled, but you have like blue eyes, and it's like pure white crystallization with a little bit of blue frequency, blue crystals. Okay, so it's like when I have very simple, because when I have beautiful souls on my table, okay, so on my healing table, and when I'm working on them, the first image that comes through, and then I can actually physically see it, to be able to see them. I'm blessed with this gift that I could see the higher self that is laying like in the sarcophagus in a sense. And that's what it looks like to me, is that it's the sarcophagus, it's the higher self that's sleeping, and the one that's laying within the vessel. And then that's how we start our work, because it will show me what origin, for some, not for always. Lots of the time I get royalty origins that come to me, and they will show me what they look like, but it will look very similar to a sarcophagus, and then we will start removing the density off the body. And then I have to kind of jolt them awake and wake them up. So they're just showing me the picture of when I'm doing hands-on healing. I'm not going to call it healing anymore. So Lightbody activating and Merkaba activations and Starseed activations. Most of the time I'll get royalty star lineages, and they'll be laying there, and I can see the higher self. The higher self will come out fully and will show itself to me. And then we'll begin the process of the recoding and the keys. It's all just key coding and awakening the computer system. So that's what they're showing me, is that it is you. It's the highest version of you that will be fully integrated in this incarnation. Okay, so royalty lineages. And they're absolutely beautiful. And then I also get all different types of, I've had different types of rays too, as well. And they are rays, so the different tones and are unique energetic signatures. So that's actually what I'm seeing. And then there's also pharaohs. too. So there's different pharaohs, they call them pharaohs, but we'll just use that word for right now, that have incarnated, or what I see has been stuck, kind of maybe stuck in that, in the fall of Atlantis, and they will show me that they're from the fall system, and to assist them with the Merkaba body, the keys and the codes and everything. So kind of something to tune into, to see, kind of always just communicate and just ask, are we clearing distortions? Obviously you will clear distortions for the fall of Atlantis, but just kind of tuning into to a few incarnations here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing my thing, Akasha. I was doing my thing, and I was seeing a golden dagger, sort of a ceremonial golden dagger. And then it reappeared in a different vision of her in a snow cave, kind of like hiding the wealth, hiding the knowledge, hiding the contraband for generations, that type of a session kind of a thing, Shannon. So I think you have a lot more, okay, now I'm getting chills. You have a lot more going on than you've given yourself credit for, girl. And I mean, keep doing what you're doing in terms of exploring, of course, but to start giving yourself props for the amazing lineage that you have, soul lineage, DNA lineage, all of it. I'm getting it's not a coincidence that you were born into the Earth family you were born into. Okay. Part of the puzzle, part of those 60 puzzle pieces, right? The 60 puzzles.
Yeah.
But so you might find, to me, the dagger, because it's so ceremonial, I'm not going to go with warrior. Maybe Akasha can tune in a little better, but I'm going to go more with the royal lineage, more like scholarly, more like diplomatic, that idea. Because you couldn't really, you couldn't kill butter with this knife, put it that way.
Okay.
I see more of her galactic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's her, I see more of her future right now. Like her future crystalline, like the future angelic human, but it's future galactic human. So very like computery. I call it computery, but like the diamond grid's fully aligned, so she's communicating through diamond light to me, like telepathically. So Arcturian. It seems like I feel lots of beautiful Arcturian frequencies transmitting. So this is her like in the future. It's not too far actually. So it could be. It really all depends. It depends on certain resistance, right? I always say it will be resistance for a while, and kind of have to move through some beliefs. So it could be 6 months or it could be a few years. But it's actually very, very fast is what I'm seeing. So it's you, and it's you fully online with your diamond computer system. So you transmit through frequencies, light codes. like this, like it will look like diamond crystal starlight when you're talking to me. So you're just talking to me through diamond starlight crystals within your body. So it's your diamond starlight crystals in your body. So you're talking to me through crystalline communication. We'll come up. Let me write this down because I'll have to come up with a word for this.
Okay, I'll jump in then.
Okay.
So what they're showing me, you know, the first, what I call the first Star Wars, where Obi-Wan was the crazy guy that lived in the desert all alone type thing. But then it was like, you know, I remember Luke, he said something like, crazy old Ben, you want me to go talk to that old guy, you know? But it has to do with basically one day Obi-Wan threw off his coat and became the Jedi Knight that he always was. And it's the same with you. What they're showing me anyway, this is shit they're showing me. They're showing me once you realize it's time to wake up, girl. It's like you're going to hit the ground running, so to speak.
Yes, Kushantu, Shantina could be like Leia.
Yeah.
So they're showing me, they're also showing me Leia too. So I think that's beautiful. And that's fine. So that's another dimension you have to pass
Yeah.
through though. And I understand that too. So it will be like Leia, but you'll have to master a dimension within that Star Wars dimension. So the dimension, that's another dimension that she has to master. You do have to master all of those dimensions, especially if it's in your blueprints. It's like I always sit there and it's when I'm sitting there communicating, because most of the time I'm assisting people telepathically, right? We call it telepathically, but it's like at a light speed. So I get a lot things more done, and I always tell them, you designed this, so you have to figure out what did you design, that you are in this in all of these dimensions. So you designed all of these dimensions for mastery, certain types of mastery. So that's where you do want to head up to the head honcho, like the director. So you can call it the oversoul, right? But there's the oversoul of the oversoul of the oversouls. So you want to go boom, 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 and go sit and talk to them and see if you can kind of dismantle what you feel like, what dimension's going on. I really don't want to master this dimension. So how can we kind of just shut this dimension, kind of like, well, if it's like it's a blueprint, see if you can just mark them all completed. So I always tune in, and I'm always telling them, I'm like, it's created though. So you really did create all of this. So you have to go talk to the one that created it, and that would be the director.
And how do you talk to the director?
It's very simple. It's a lot more simple than it was even 6 years ago. So you just sit in meditation and say, I want to talk to the director, but it's not really meditation. So I usually just stand up and just say, I want to talk to the director. Eventually you'll get a little beep in, like a chime, and go, I'm right here. Going, okay, so, and then you just kind of send your request up. Okay, so it's really simple. Usually we'll just send our request and just say, I want you to come and let's look at this. And then you can learn how to mark them completed.
Okay.
And it's a lot more simple than 6 years ago. Most of the time there's a lot more that you would have to do, but it's actually simple, where you should be able to access a lot faster, because the vibrational frequencies of the planet is so much faster. There's so much more access to streaming. So it's streaming through frequencies. So you should just say, I want to just speak to the director really quick, and you put your request in. Once you're up there, you might have to learn how to monitor your round table. And that's something else that they're showing me. So they're showing me your round table, and your round table is all of your multidimensional use. Okay. So they're saying, once you get up to the director and you just say, hey, I want to send a request, but I want to communicate to you right now. Then he'll be like, cool, awesome. Now you're here. We're going to integrate. Boom. Then you're going to have to go into the mastery of your round table. So that could be your oversouls. There's many different round tables. That could be all of your oversouls too, but we'll keep it simple. So let's just say multidimensional, use in different times and spaces. If you want to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like you will, because you have to, the way that I see you very, very shortly in the future, you do it. So you can kind of master certain dimensions you're in right now, or to mark them completed. So choosing and choice, there you go. Go ahead, Morgan. Okay, keep going and going.
Basic. So anyway, a little while I heard show her the spaceship. And so have you been playing with your Merkaba or your Lightbody at all, Shannon? Like, where are you in terms of that?
I'm just trying to think about that. In the past couple of weeks, I probably have at least once or twice in a meditation, like been led into that imagining the Merkaba kind of thing. And there definitely was one where it was trying to imagine it more like you guys normally describe it, like more of that computer panel, and trying, I don't know, I'm trying to imagine the light within, like how I might see it. And I found, can't remember where it was, some movie where they show this picture and it's like she's touching, it's kind of like oh, what
Like a hologram.
funky, comic movies or whatever, where it's like he's like moving stuff around and it's like light in front of him and it's a screen, but it's just light kind of thing. Like I'm trying to imagine it like one of those panels, like straight out of a Marvel show or something like that. And I'm getting better at imagining it that way, but I'm not quite there yet. So yeah.
That's beautiful though. I'm glad you're able, well, I'm gonna say I'm kind of speaking for all of the aboves, right? So I'm going to say all of the multidimensionals that are here. And it's really just like a really big full house. And that's your full house. So it's like it's for them, just for you to even access that is beautiful. So you were able to move through multiple dimensions to be able to access that. But yes, that's what it will look like, a crystalline holographic screen, and you could see solar. So when you see the lights, I think you're seeing the solar panels. Well, it will look like solar panels, but it's like solar. It could be very bright, very solar, like solar light, is most likely what you're seeing and looking at. So I think that's amazing that you're able to access it, and just see if you can keep accessing it to see if you can see something more beyond.
And I'd be curious to know, like, this is homework. So homework number 2. Does it have anything to do with your hands? And what I mean by that is, like, if you put your left hand out, is it going to do anything, or is it all telepathic? Does your right hand do something different than your left hand? Or again, is it more telepathic, or with your feet or something like that?
Something to tune into.
Yeah.
You have to use your hands. I usually use my hands a lot.
Like using my hands. Yeah.
That's all the coding. So that's you in the future when you're coming up to talk to me. It's like a teleportation, like a light speed. You're using your hands and you're talking through crystalline. I'm going to call it crystalline diamond light transmissions, but it's through your physical body. So it's through your physical body, and you're just moving your hands, and I can see all of your diamond light codes. Like you're speaking to me through codes and light codes, because that's how that's how I transmit. That's how I'm able to translate. It's just through light.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All of it. I can't say I'm doing that yet, remember, but
okay. Well, it's a process. It's a process. And did you have any questions at this time?
Oh, what don't we want to know these days? Well, I think we answered one of those. So if I read this right, or if I understood this right, what I felt there the other day, we'll call it the feeling behind me, was my higher self coming online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good news, because at this point I wasn't even sure I was accessing my higher self, I'll be quite honest.
That's the whole whole system coming on. The next thing is that, just for you to know, your universal stargate is open, and it's activated. So it will look like, if you look behind me in the picture, the flying disc, the flying starship, that's what it looks like. So it looks very similar. It's a stargate though. So your stargate is activated, and that is, and the stargate activated. So that's the reason why you were feeling all those experiences, and you could feel your head expanding. So just for there was a planetary alignment Venus and Jupiter, and then Saturn in Pisces. And Saturn is a beautiful blueprint for everyone to decide to take the higher path to the galactic Nova Terra, to the new Earth. And when you say, they're like, what do you mean higher path? I'm talking about the initiations that you're ready to fully turn online, that you're ready to see again. You're ready to see, hear, and feel again. Okay, so it's initiations, and each dimension is initiation. So the third dimension is initiation. That's why you'll see others that are still offline, and that is perfect the way that it is, because their higher self, those, you have to understand that that was designed. Yeah. Okay, so we want to honor those spaces and places, so that's the chosen experience by the highest version of them. So then you have the fourth dimension, and that's going to be the polarity and duality and the separation and the judgment. So you'll see everything black and white, possibly for a while, and then that could just be that could just be the only initiation. You know, it's okay, but you will be like universal aware. You will still see synchronicities. You'll be following the, you know, the frequencies and numbers. You can create, you can materialize, you can manifest in the fourth dimension. It's perfect. You're just saying, yes, I don't want to go any higher, and that's cool. Those are your collective grids, and that's perfect the way it is. I'm sure some people are hitting certain grids too. That could be like saying it in anger. Kind of saying, oh, well, I'll just, you know, and that's going to happen too. And that's cool the way it is, because that's resistance. Anything that's resistant to the 5D is love. The fifth dimension is pure love. And it's pure love through the heart. It's your heart fully wide open. Okay. It's nothing to do with anything else but your heart fully open. Open. And that's the fifth dimension. And then the throat, everything starts to open. And it's pure love. So it's a pure love existence, and it's okay, because that's another initiation. And the fourth dimension is an initiation. Okay, so the fifth dimension is an initiation. It's the soul that says, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to keep the heart fully open. I'm ready for that expanded, that bliss, that crystalline, beautiful energetic frequency. You can still feel it in the fourth dimension. There's all different initiations. That's why you want to honor those experiences too, because it could just be the higher self that says, this is the dimensional grid that we're going to stay in, and that's perfect the way that it is, right? So what is happening with this huge shift with Saturn going into Pisces, the most beautiful experience, especially for the past 3 weeks to a month, is that there's many that were in the 3D that are taking that next initiation to the new Earth, or to the galactic Nova Terra. Okay, and the galactic Nova Terra, like I said, it's a multidimensional Earth system. So it's multi dimensions of the Earth, and you will take initiation for each one. So the future self that's coming in is saying that you took the initiation for the 12th. So that's the 12th dimension, and you will walk in the 12th dimension fully embodied with the Stargate that you activated. That's your 12D and beyond coming online. And that's very fast, so a few years, fully anchored. So thank you for everything you're about to do for the collectives.
Okay.
Like, I can feel like you're about to go like fully, that you're taking that initiation, that I'm going to keep my heart open, and I'm going to keep that heart wide open, and I'm going to go all the way to anchor in millions and trillions of templates for the collectives. And it does seem like it's going to be some really beautiful Arcturian and Syrian and all this just really beautiful crystal diamond plasma and beyond, because I can also see a Krystalline body. So it seems like you have like trillions of templates that you're about to set at a very rapid speed. And that's actually what I'm tuning into, is that's the 12th dimension fully embodied, that you will walk as the 12th dimension fully embodied here on the planet. And we do walk as the 12th dimension and beyond, fully embodied. with that heart space open, so we can assist with the distortions of whatever is left, I'm going to say. And that's those vibrational frequencies transmit pure love, and we're able to just vibrate collectives or communities, countries. You could decide that you might want to travel in order for you to go to where you feel like your heart is being called in the future time points too. So it will be all inner initiations, but I do see that you will take that heart path like a lot of us, and know that we're going to go to these locations because we know we can vibrate at a light speed and be able to assist with the deprogramming of the distortions within the collective grids. So I can see it's more of you're going to turn on the universal programmer with this gate. So the gate system, and then the Stargate that's expanding, and your Stargate activated. This higher self is showing that this is the initiation. That's the highest initiation. So you will be walking as your starborn royalty lineage. Okay. The next thing I'm going to tune into is your energy bodies. I can see that you're stretching and expanding. You want to pay attention to who you allow, who, what, where, and what, and who you allow in your field. The reason why I'm going to say this is because your energy is being pulled. Okay, so you want to kind of tune into this, and where do you overstep boundaries or allow boundaries to be crossed? So mastery of energetics. It could go really fast. You can write it in your dream state, you can write it down right now to master, and you can master boundaries in your dream state, and you can master mastery of energetics in your dream state. So maybe for the next week, say I would like to master this in my dream state. So when you wake up, you are already mastered. Okay, so that means you'll be able to see. Okay, so I can see who, what, where, because it's obviously, we call it soul agreements, but you'll be able to see those frequency bands. You want to see if you can master frequencies and transmissions in your dream state, and write that down, because we're vibrating so high. You guys should be able to move through time like very fast. super fast. You should be able to get all masteries done. If there's anything else that you mastery of telepathy, mastery of abilities, mastery of my Stargate, mastery of the Merkaba, and just write it down and just state it, direct it before you go to sleep, because you're going to be the director. So you are going to be embodied with the one you'll talk to for a little bit.
Or it occurs to me to, it's great if you know the name of it, but you could do something more generic, like just the mastery of my special gift, if you don't know it.
Yeah.
The most helpful special gift for me in this now moment, would that work as well, Akasha?
Yes. And just see how, anything that comes to mind. I say master everything. And then when you wake up the next day, it's like navigating like a Gumby field. You know, and you're like, woo! It's like you're waking up running into the wall, but I call it like waking up into a Gumby field, and it is a Gumby field, and then you're coming, and then you're feeling all transmissions. You're like, whoa! What do we do? So then you're kind of asking yourself, you know, because we are moving so fast, we're embodying the director. So the one that you're communicating to is you. It is you. You can integrate with the director very fast, but you have to kind of ask the inner direction of once you get up, you feel all those transmissions, then you're going to be like, what do I do? How do I do this? And you have to learn how to clear timelines. So just be really kind and polite and just say, all right, so this isn't energetically aligned, and you'll have to speak to, like I said, who, what, where, and you know, people, places, and things, and you'll be able to feel it. And that could just be food too, food and water. It could be your house, your environment. So when you actually, when you wake up and say, yes, I want to do all this, when you wake up, the transmissions you'll be feeling, you're going to feel everything that's out of energetic alignment, that you're going to have to just clear or rewrite, realign, rearrange. You'll kind of, like I said, like a Gumby plasma field, a Gumby plasma field. You'll be kind of walking and going, whoa, okay, so what do I do? It could take a few days, possibly, or not. It could be 24 hours. So you'll be able to tune into it.
I'm laughing because I went to the grocery store right after receiving a major healing today, and I should not have gone to the grocery store. I should not have gone.
Why? Is it all the weird energy?
Well, it had kind of started just to snow for about an hour or so. So everybody was in panic mode, driving like, I got to get to the store before the snow gets to be 5 feet deep. And it was just like, that's not my vibe. I just need some milk, So I hear you about the company. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. It's like the kind of like the rushing, I call it.
Yeah.
It just that's fine. A lot of the directors here call it multidimensional me's. Okay. Artificial intelligence is really what it is. Like, but you're feeling more you're feeling more artificial intelligence within people.
Yes, because I noticed exactly, like, people were anxious, and it's like, well, I'm not anxious. I'm loosey goosey. I'm Mr. Gumby, but I could feel it. Yeah, it's almost like you can see them as autonomons or something. Yeah.
You can feel all the chaos and the tornadoes
Yeah.
within them. You can really you can sit and observe. So you sit and observe them. You feel all the tornadoes, and you're just like bliss, and you're just walking through and happy, like happy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what's really fun is when you meet somebody who's on the same wavelength, right? Like there was some kids there, and they were all apologetic because I need to move my cart to make room for them. But whatever, it was like, oh, we're sorry. And it's like, oh no, that's okay, But they were both the only people there that were normal.
Is that those, because you were able to materialize them.
Mm.
Yes. So you want to start paying attention to who you're materializing.
And going back to Shannon for a second, I know she's got a little bit of stuff going on in her life, so that would work well with your life, Shannon, too, to materialize opportunity.
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm going to transmit codes from your future self today, and start transmitting codes for the new opportunities. And I was directed to do more codes for you. Just kind of transmit more diamond codes and plasma codes. We want to call forth those opportunities, but the next thing that I would recommend is calling the highest versions of everyone within your timelines right now. Or if you want to, you just say collapse all timelines, and sometimes you can say with grace and with ease. Just clear all timelines, and just see if you can open up to see what needs to transition out. And most of the time it's inside of your physical body, so you can learn how to reset and restart, restart, and open up new timelines. So the frequencies are inside of you. It's like, let's say you materialize someone that is in so much fear, okay, and they're coming to you, and they're in so much fear. That's your fear inside of you. So if you tune in, at least for right now, just in the beginning, So they're coming to you and they have so much fear. If you just pay attention to what's materializing, and it could be from the subconscious, or let's just say it's from the physical body. And I kind of tune more into it in the skeleton structures. So you would see, oh my gosh, this is materializing, but it could also be from another time and space. Okay, so you would go back and go, okay, 3 years, 6 years. Yeah, we're in like a 7-year convergence right now. So you can go back and go, okay, so this is within inside of me. And you would just hold that present state and just see if you can hold space and just listen. Once you listen, you can walk away, and then you could go, oh, cool. Well, thank you for showing me this. Deactivate and dismantle this now. And just look at the frequencies that are running in the body. So whatever is left right now, and I've noticed this, whatever is left in the physical body, the fear in the body, it's materializing rapidly to trigger the physical body. And I see this going, wow, okay, well, this is good. Thank you for showing me this. And you can see, tune into your inner child, tune into your inner child. So 3 years old and 7 and 10, and 3, 7, and 10 is what's being shown. This is the one you want to nurture in the morning. So 3, 7, and 10. Okay, so see what you can bring into your life. And it's really simple. So 3 could be, something that makes you happy, like a stuffed animal, and kind of see if you can bring that item in. So 3, 7, and 5. So playing, what can you do to nurture your inner child? Okay, because the freezing, the fear and terror, the shadow matrix, they call it, that shadow system is still within your child self, within the time and space of this incarnation, if that makes sense. Okay, so here we are sitting, right? So you at 3 and 7. Okay, so if you were to look on your left shoulder, if you were to look over at the left, you should see your 7-year-old. Okay, so there is, in 0 point, everything is simultaneously running at once. Okay, so if you tune in, you should see all years of you and the future you. Okay, so you should see the future you, and you should be able to see all yous simultaneously running. The ones you want to pay attention to is going to be the ones that hold the shadow matrix inside. So if you have your 3-year-old still in fear and holds fear in the physical body, your 7-year-old and your 10-year-old, those are the ones you want to nurture and say, look, everything's going to be fine. And that could still be the split. So that's the split of the consciousness.
Okay. No, that
within
makes
your physical body.
cool. So
Okay.
the ages 3, 7, and 10, is that right?
Yes. And they call them aspects, but I'm not going to call them aspects. Okay. I'm going to say that as a galactic being, we should know we can sit, and you should be able to see all spaces and times of you that exist and simultaneously exist right now. And you would be able to tune into it and say, this is me at 3 or 7 or 10. And that's the one that you want to be able to merge the consciousness with, and you're clearing distortions of that shadow energy. So we're going to use the word shadow for right now. We're going to use the words fear. And those are just words. So you want to see if we can remove the words. As you remove the words, you want to tune into the frequency. And what is that frequency in the emotional body? So 3, you get a stuffed animal, and go back to 7 and to see, I don't know why they're showing me Claire's, which is interesting, but there could be something bright and rainbowy for your age 7. It could be drawing, it could be painting. You know how like we get up and you're going to go to the bathroom or brush your teeth or jump in the shower or go to your phone or whatever it is. See if you can reverse that and stop doing it, and get up and say, what does my 7-year-old want to do today?
Knowingly, it'll be light bright. Remember that?
So mine is card, like oracle cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Giggling, laughing, playing oracle cards. That might not always work with the solar winds that are coming through. All the activity, you be getting up and going, like coming out of the body. So you might have to get up and move around. I mean, that's what it's like, all that fear, all the illusions, you feel like you're right back into 3D, and so
Okay.
that could I do have 50 Andaras in the bed, so that could be it. That could be all the crystals and the Andaras in the bed. So it's like that, but it will get everything off of you. I know it does. If you came in, you'd be like, she really does have 50 Andaras. There's a lot more coming in too. We have a whole big and it really is just for the beds. It's like, it's for the pull everything to the surf. Yeah, it's like tornado overnight, kind of flying through timelines. But the energy of the flares is you'll feel it come up, so you gotta get up and move the body. And that could be the opposite. So most of the time, most of all of you guys are getting up and doing what you guys call the unconscious walking right now. So you'll be getting up to go get the phone. You'll be getting up. You're clearing. That's you clearing in the morning, and not kind of tuning into those parts of you that were merging. So that would be the inner child to bring on the divine child.
Sorry,
So a lot of you guys are going to do we call it unconscious walking.
Okay.
So
what was me clearing in the morning? What was that?
Get up and move the body.
Just
So
move.
see if you can get up out of the bed. If you are feeling like a splattered bug, so you could feel like a splattered bug like this. I don't want to do anything and lethargic. Okay, like you're feeling lethargic, kind of roll out of the bed and see if you can make yourself laugh, like play and have fun.
Okay.
Kind of like roll, make a big scene. See if you can kind of start to play with that part of you, and then get up. And most of the time we'll like make fun of running to the coffee pot and all this funny stuff. But it's see how can you play and get up, move the body, go walk around. If you can, go for a walk. Don't sit right down and sit up and feel like you're going to go and sit and meditate. Get up and move the body, and just kind of walk around the house. And if you have to do stuff, do stuff. If you feel like I'm going to go put laundry in, I'm going to start cleaning up the house, start doing that too, because that's going to rearrange your timelines.
Okay, cool.
That's a part of the reset in the morning. Especially right now, get up, start cleaning the house. Now, if you are a neat freak and all you do is clean, then don't do nothing. Sit up and walk around the house and let everything sit for a whole week dirty. Okay, and there's a point to it, and that because it's that. I mean, imagine you're walking around in a dirty house. Imagine how much you're going to pull up from your inner child, because you have to look at your childhood and where the neatness come from. So who, what, where, your caretakers, your guardians, where was the discipline? Did you have to clean your room all the time? So keep everything a mess for a whole week.
Right.
And don't do dishes, and you'll have to go get paper plates.
Oh my.
Okay.
Bonus.
You walk around the house and just go, no. You'll see all of that programming come out. This should give you to give it a week at least, and then you'll be able. Then you can go and clean it. Once you go back and clean it, that's how you're going to clean your loops. You're cleaning your loops. When you start to clean it, clean the loops, clear the timelines, and start putting everything back. Reset, readjust the grid, reboot the whole system. And as you're cleaning it, then you start to rearrange. And clean the house and see if you can rearrange the house all at the same time, and you're cleaning the loops. And the loops is going to be the distortions of this incarnation.
Okay.
And I'm getting to do it like in a different way. And what I mean by that is, like, I love Akasha's analogy, like of cleaning the house, but maybe do it in a different way. And what I mean by that is, if you always use the vacuum, we'll use a mop.
Yeah.
And see if that's different.
Okay.
Shake it up.
Yes, or use the vacuum around the house and don't use a mop.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're basically trying to break all of our habits for a good week, whatever we do. Doesn't matter what it is, right? So if I'm normally a neat freak, then you go to the other side and challenge yourself and then reset a week later. If I normally clean the house with a vacuum, okay, do it with a mop or just down on, bend it to the soap bucket, have a nice day, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And how does that set the energy though? Like, what does it do? Does it just break the frequency?
You're breaking the energy in your external reality.
You're breaking, okay.
Okay. And then you'll learn how to go inner and outer. Inflex, outflex.
Okay.
So you're breaking energy out exterior for a long time.
Okay.
And you might hear a relative's voice saying, oh, you need to use the vacuum. But like, do you really? Maybe the mop is the better thing to use because things have changed. Things like that.
Yes, you want to listen to the voice and start. It's like if you keep the bathroom completely dirty and see if you can hear the voice in the subconscious of the imprint and whose voice is it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you want to pay attention to the imprints. I had a GM for 10 years. A GM for 10 years that is in my subconscious, and then all the other people that I worked with. So and I had to break all these patterns down of cleaning or whatever it was that was in their control panel. Okay, so everyone has a control panel. Eventually, you'll see boxes. It'll look like a control box. You want to learn how to get out of the control box to break out of the matrix. So I call it the control panel. It's not really them either. If you're in a room full of like 20 or 100 people, you're going to eventually merge the consciousness. All of you merge as one. You become each other, especially if you're working together for almost 10 years. So it's like, it's all programming. You can call it the subconscious, but we'll just call it the control panel. So you want to kind of tune in. So he was like, have you ever switched a career? And it's like 10 years later, you feel like you're still having nightmares of the same place because that's what you're clearing in your dream state. Right. Yeah. But you want to kind of tune in and to see how you can break the energy and to break down the energy within your exterior. So we'll use the house for right now and then see if you could do the car.
So it's kind of like the Russian dolls, right? Like we're all together at one point going, okay, this, that, and the other thing, belief system, break it apart into many, many little pieces. And you can tell the energy that, okay, this is the person who really liked to clean the house. This is the person that really, whatever, had to cook a dinner a certain way. But you can tell the energy, and then you can start to figure out your energy, and it starts to come back into one more complete Russian doll in this case, as an analogy, Shannon.
Yes, and it's baby steps. You have to take baby steps. Because if you look at the structures as the structures within the matrix that we all came into, if you really kind of tune into the control box. To Galactic's control box is mind control, which is artificial intelligence. Okay, so most of the time, it's like when you're asking somebody to awaken, that's none of your business. Okay, and the reason why I'd have to say this is because if that person hits a grid or hits a wire with inside of them, that is like an internal meltdown. Okay, so you want to give them time to figure out how to decode and recode. So it's a decode and a recode of the control system. It's like how they feel like they have to do everything, the same thing every single day. That is a security blanket. Okay, so that's some type of control and domination that was done to them when they were little. So that's always tell everyone, go back and look at your childhood. Continuously go back and to look at the patterns of your childhood. And if you say that everything was perfect, go back and look again, because you were born into a matrix.
Okay.
So it's,
Like,
for you, you'll continue. Eventually, you'll go, oh, okay, and then you'll have baby steps, little bit of freedom every day.
Shannon, are you writing this down?
Little
my
bit of freedom
God.
every day. And it
You
really
know,
is,
maybe that's a pattern.
Oh, I guess.
you know, you'll have your freedom every single day. You'll have your freedom. You can say that too. And you want to talk to all versions of you, which are all yous in all time and spaces, running at the same time. I will have my freedom every single day. So kind of look at the kind of the old control system of what you're kind of like decoding and recoding all at the same time, right? Because the one that's in fear most likely will be your 7-year-old. You have to go look at everything, kind of like in a 360 degree. Lots of will be security blankets for a while, and you want to take baby steps to remove those. That's something that is coming in for you. You'll catch on really fast. And you'll have fun around your house. And you'll start buying items to shift and to change energy, and it could just be red or neon, something like a neon yellow, something really popping color that will just kind of, or a diamond grid, something that looks like the diamond age, something that has diamonds on it. And it could be just like a trinket, or you might
New
you could get
pillows.
a lamp, like a lamp that has the diamond rhinestones on it. And see, you'll start shifting the house.
That's funny. It just reminded me of something I used to have that had a diamond inlay in the wood. It was like a wood table, and it was all diamond, but that's a long time. But anyway.
You're sensitive. If you
So-
want to get through your mirrors,
Yeah.
if you want, how you're looking at a reflection all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get mirror furniture, get furniture that has mirrors.
That would be different for me. Yep.
And then you can set up different grids, like crystal grids, or you can set up things on the furniture. And if you look at it, or you can place it in the middle, you can get a like a furniture piece that looks beautiful, silver with mirrors.
Yeah.
And it would be like different geometric shapes. And every time you walk past it, you want to go and work in a spiral, or just walk back and forth, or work in a spiral around it, and see if you can learn how to see multidimensionally.
Cool.
See if you can see all of your mirrors, and keep looking. And every time you work in a spiral, every time you move back and forth, you walk back and forth, you should be able to see another reflection grid. You can learn how to collapse it. As you're walking past, when you can see it, you will, if you really bring it into the physical, you walk past that mirror, you'll be able to see. It's a form of scrying. You should be able to see your mirror, and that could be a soul contract. So let's say it's a lover from, and I'm not really going into the relationships, but let's just say that it's an old a lover or a friend. We'll use a friend for right now. For some reason they're saying she's friend. So you'll see the friend, and you'll continuously see that mirror, and you'll go, this is like a replica of me, or I feel like this is a mirror of me. And every time you walk past it, it's like a form of scrying. And you'll be able to see that person. What if it's someone that you just can't open your heart to, and you keep seeing them? Well, that's a good contract. So you would go, oh, well, you would see them. Eventually you would start to see their faces. You would walk past it. Every time you walk past it, you should be able to see all your reflection grids, and then you can learn how to dismantle them. So when you start to see them, go, okay, we'll dismantle this one, dismantle that one, or mark this one completed, mark that completed. You can start learning how to mark them completed and to see. But you can mark them completed, a few of them you might have to go and look within and to see, what do I need to continue looking within? And it's a frequency within inside of you. I always tell everyone it will be love, and you'll have to continue that fourth dimensional mirror contract until you open your heart. So pure love. And it could just be a frequency you can learn how to dismantle, and that's fine too. Eventually it will just move out. You could also have fun with mirrors too, and you can shatter them. And there you go. That's bringing it into the physical. But this one will be cool if you could get mirror furniture. You can learn how to see multidimensional, and you would be able to access what is your higher self doing. So you would become the director of your universe. And see if you can see it in all these different angles.
Okay.
Mirrors are a form of scrying too.
Yeah.
So you should be able to access it. You might see a previous lifetime too. Every time you walk past it, you might actually walk past it and see like a previous lifetime, like Lemuria comes up for you. So there is a false system of Lemuria, a distortion of Lemuria. And I'm just gonna send that key code in today.
So is this similar to what we do with, mirrors when we look and gaze within, trying to see previous versions of ourselves? Does it appear the same way?
Yes, you can do that. You also, if you're able to look in the mirror long enough, you should be able to see your higher self.
Oh.
Or you would be able to see your multidimensional versions of you through all time and space. So it kind of will look like that your face is moving and morphing.
It does, yeah.
Your face
I can't look at it directly, or else I lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm I'm almost looking past me, but I'm noticing that it's changing. But you know how it is when you go to focus in and then you lose it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
And you want to, if you want to, you can use a flame. So I was taught how to light a candle, and you can turn the light off and then use the candle.
Yeah.
For scrying. You'll be able to start to see the shifting. That's how I saw my higher self in 2014.
Cool. Okay.
I saw look like an avatar feline. I could see my dreads and everything.
Wow.
Of course, you're in the ego. So I was like, oh my God. And I was like,
And you got a picture of that.
All my kids are laughing, going, oh my God. They're like, it's a feline. It's like, they're like, it's a feline. It's just they're like, look, you're an avatar. It's like my Andromedan kids just kind of playing with the baby just awakening. So you can see the cool thing is that you'll see your higher self, but then you could see you through all time and space. You could shift into a man.
Yeah.
Because that's through all time and spaces, and all spaces and time.
Yeah.
You could be able to see your other incarnations.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I caught one. I don't know what he was. Kind of looked like it was a really big kind of like someone out of Star Trek, like one of those guys kind of thing, like a big skull, I can't remember what the name of those guys are anymore, but they're rather large and they kind of have like a big head that comes out. I caught one of those, and I just remember thinking as the brow was building, I'm like, I think that's a man, like, like as it's changing and morphing, and it was going on to the next. But yeah.
Yes. I was I think that might be Syrian or Andromedan.
Oh, okay.
It's that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are ideas. Now the next thing you'll have to get used to is when you're around people, they'll be morphing and moving, and it's bendable. So it becomes like plasma. It's plasma. Plasma is bendable. Plasma. Yeah. So you'll be sitting there looking at the person you thought, you look over and they look like somebody else. You can see their face move because it's multidimensional.
Yeah. Okay.
meaning that they could, let's say that's their parallel Earth, it could be their parallel universe looking at you and moving. I got used to that. That one I got used to, but it's like the plasma. It takes a little while to get used to it because you probably could like, it's like you have to kind of, you would go, oh, and then if you pause and slow down, you'd be able to ask, is this a parallel universe? Is this the parallel Earth version of them? And their face will shift. They could turn into a woman too. If it's a man, it could turn into a woman. You go, whoa, what was that?
Okay. No, it makes sense. Yep.
And how would that help, or does it help her understand the person, or it helps her understand their role, or how does it help?
It would assist her with remembering the multidimensional existence of the physical vessel. So I feel like it's more physical vessel is what I'm tuning into, is that we exist in all spaces and time, in all realities and multiverses.
Cool. I guess the one question out of all this, so I've heard quite a bit lately that, what does my soul want? Well, it wants me to shine my light. Well, that's great. Very trite. Shine my light. Thanks. Anyway. So helpful. So helpful. So the other day I was like, well, how in the frick am I supposed to do this? For someone that doesn't meditate necessarily that well. And they're like, well, you have to get into your sacred heart. I'm like, well, how in the frick do I do that? So with what you're telling me tonight, it's like, is that what we're talking about? That I'm trying to open my sacred heart and keep it open, or am I not quite into it yet?
It's an expansion in the heart grid. So that let me tune in. Okay, so the one answering back, the one that's answering back, that's your ego. Okay, so remember, for a long time you are the ego for years. Okay, so you're going to speak the ego, you have to dissolve the ego, you're going to be the ego for many, many years. Okay, and that's perfect because I'm always the ego, especially during solar flares. And we definitely have a ball here. It's a ball, yeah, a ball within a ball. And we have fun because we know this is the ego that's sitting here transmitting, and it's the transmission. That ego also goes through an upgrade. The ego holds a purpose, a value system. That part of us is absolutely beautiful too. Many levels. Okay, so see how you can look at it in beauty, but that's all you answering. So it's something just kind of transmitting, is just to remember that when you answer in those tones, then you would know this is my ego talking. So you might be able to kind of tone that tune down, because it's a tuning station, and to tune it for a minute, and then kind of ask a few times and go, sacred heart. So you could be in resistance of love, which is beautiful. Most of us are. So it's like when you hear sacred heart, you have to go back in, feel the words again, feel it, and say sacred heart. Does your heart open when you say sacred heart? When you use the word sacred heart? Or are you saying, no way, I am in resistance of love? And what is that song? Anyways, there's a song that they play all the time through Stargates. Addicted to love. Okay, that's fine. And that means that I'm moving through. And when I hear that I'm addicted to love, okay, it's a Stargate that opens. I know that I'm dissolving today my resistance to love.
That is awesome.
And I'll hear it very loud. It's a Stargate that opens. And it would be in the morning, or it would be as throughout the day, and I'll hear that song, I'm addicted to love, and I'll be cracking up laughing, and then it materializes in the stores sometimes. Yeah. So I'll be walking into stores and materialize. That's how I know that this one's a big one. And that's the resistance to love. For a long time, your ego is going to be like, I'm not resistant to love, and blah blah blah. Yes, you are. And that could be another 3 years. So it all really depends on what's there, right? So going back, you want to kind of tune in and to feel the word Sacred Heart. Doesn't even resonate with you. Might not resonate with you. So see, what about Diamond Heart? And see if you can play with the words. So write down Sacred Heart and write down Diamond Heart, Trinity Heart, Triple Heart, 3 hearts. That's Draco. Dracos have 3 hearts. I actually find that amazing. I was like, I can imagine opening up that heart grid from a contracted state, and it was wide open. You imagine the beauty of that being. So you want to see how you can play with the words for a little bit. See if sacred heart, sacredness might not resonate yet because you haven't found your inner sacredness yet, right? So kind of feel the words first, okay, and just baby steps is what I'm feeling, okay? Because if you're anything like me, answering back, I hear this, okay, it means we have resistance to love in the body.
Yeah.
And that love is you loving yourself. So it's really, it's more inner, and then it can become exterior. And that's where you would kind of just play with it. Doesn't mean who cares what I say. Don't go into too much of what I ever say, ever. And that's for everybody listening. Okay, because it's nothingness, and it really isn't. The reason why I would say this is because if you go too much into it, that holds belief systems, and that's where you will start to create cords. You'll create cords, and you'll start to hold on, attach. You'll be attaching to that frequency of whatever it is we're speaking, right? So play with it multidimensionally, and just say, well, that's beautiful. And then as you go through the spiral system and you start to merge everything, because as you're playing, you're playing in geometrics and equations and different types of blueprints and templates. And then once you feel like you're completed, it will just anchor. And as it's completing, you could be walking in a grocery store. And let's say you're walking in the grocery store and you pick up an orange. And that orange is bright and pink. But it's like a pink orange. It's a different type of orange. And you look at it and you're like, boom, you just anchor it. You look at the orange and you go, Sacred Heart. And your heart opens and expands, and your heart is open for the rest of your incarnation. Okay, so that is quantum geometrics. Okay, so that's why I said always just kind of move around and break the energy down, and don't go too much into it, or you could be sitting there crying, going, my heart's not open for like 3 years. Your higher self's like, oh my God, do you have to break down any more energy today? Come on, let's get up and start moving. At least my universe is hilarious. I'm like, get out of bed. It's like, so it's like, and it really is, it could just be that simple. Okay. And you will see that is geometrics. When you're quantum jumping, you materialize the orange to have that last little light code, that last little light fiber. Boom, your template is set, and your heart is open. You have that inner marriage, that sacred marriage, the heroes gamos, everything everybody's running around talking about, and it's an orange. So and that's another thing, you're running around looking for a twin flame, twin ray, a partner. You are your partner. Yeah. You are your highest partner. Yeah. Your soul intermarriage is you. It really is you. And the orange is the last little. It could be a dog. You walk in, you have a little tiny cat, and that's the completion. A little orange bright cat, whatever it's going to be, is definitely going to be bright and orange. Oh my. And then so it's like whatever the completion of your template, and that's where everything materializes in geometrics and in a spiral system, but it depends on what Merkaba you're in. So it's not always going to be true. Guardians have a different setup. Guardians, they don't go in spiral systems, but you will, that's like the synchronizing to the universe. So that would be the completion is the orange. So all of those years that we're going into all of those illusions and freaking out over the heart or the sacred heart or whatever it is that we allowed ourselves to be programmed with. Hopefully you guys will be able to follow just for a little bit, because I feel like this is important for the collectives, that you will see that everything is the universal Stargate, and that it could be the orange that goes boom, everything's set, your heart's open, and it's geometric, so everything falls into place. It's light, light grid equations and light codes. It would just materialize out there, exterior.
So it's kind of like the last brick in the wall, and then you can see the wall, but in this case, it maybe the Sacred Heart.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
like goes boom, and it comes into reality, and it's like kabang.
Yeah, and it's like just by talking to her and telling her about this type of materialization, her heart opens.
Yeah.
I can feel her heart open. So boom, your template is set. You have to see what resonates with you. And that's the true nose, what resonates with you. And to see, it could be a diamond heart. I don't know why I keep saying that. It could be a little doggy heart. I mean, you have to kind of see. I don't know if she likes dogs, but I see canines and cats. It's like, so,
One cat here.
okay, I have mine. She's like,
Right?
she's sleeping. Yours is beautiful. It's like a big fluffy stuffed ball.
He likes to
Oh my
think so.
goodness.
Are you
Mm.
gonna say hello or are you just gonna run? Say hi. Hello. Okay.
It's beautiful. Is it a
Yeah.
she?
It's a he.
It's a
Yep.
he. It
It's a
has
he.
lots of feminine energy.
Yeah. Hey.
Our little baby, she's laying like, I would grab her, but she's upside down in a
Aw.
comatose state, and she had her awakening yesterday. She
Oh.
she had her royalty anointing.
Aw.
She had her royalty anointing
Hmm.
on our on our healing bed. We activated her Merkaba, and then we
Wow.
gave her a royalty anointing with anointing oils for
I
her
didn't
like
know you
Egyptian
could do
throne. They actually like you put it on their paws, their hands, their paws, and you can put it on her third eye or his third eye.
Hmm.
She seemed to like it.
I had no idea we could do that. That is so cool.
Yes, you can use different anointing oils and put essential oils to relax them.
Mm.
Back of the neck and their paws, and you want to honor them, to honor their presence. So she's like passed out with the light. Yeah, she's definitely a massive Lyran. As I said, as it comes out, it's like, thank you for incarnating. And coming in soon. Yes, intuition, okay, so the heart expansion, shining your light is expanding your light outwards. So tuning in. So how do we hold resistance? Yes, and I feel like that was everyone today. How do we hold resistance of sharing our inner light or sharing our light with the world? Okay, so are we in hermit right now? So do you feel like you could be introverted right now? And that's I feel like that could be what it is coming through. That could be everyone. Most of the time with solar flares and all this activity, and especially the winter solstice and then the beginning, it has been nothing but ego deaths. We're dying probably we're dying every 6 days.
Okay.
every 4 hours in birthing. Ooh, like ego deaths.
Okay.
After for very intense actually. For all of us to pull everything out cause you to be introverted. So you're sensitive, expanding your light outwards. I can actually see why though. You have to shine your light out. Like I said, you have energy pulling. So if you amplify your light out and amplify your field out, you'll be able to kind of build that light field. You'll have pulling energy. I do see it's like pulling. You guys see, you're gonna have to tune into your contracts. So it seems like it's more male pulling energy off you. Okay. All right. I always tell everyone, remember that they have a higher self. Always remember, no matter what it is that they materialize in front of you, they have a higher self.
Okay.
Okay. Shining your light, amplifying your light. Yeah. They're showing me like a bus with aliens on it. A little bus with green aliens.
My
So
conducting
it seems like you're going into the 7th dimension. So it's you. That's your bus to the higher dimension. I feel like that's you driving the bus. She's like she's driving the bus. That she is. Like she has a big bus. You have many round tables up there. But it's not like up there. She has many round tables in the sky she hasn't even seen yet. Her ships. So those are all your round tables. You'll be able to get up and to direct them in the future.
Cool.
Has everyone been able to see the massive round starships that are rainbow frequencies up in the sky? They should be everywhere on the planet now.
All I see are things.
They're pretty visible. You can't miss them at all. Some of them are longer, but they're actually really visible, and they have they're circular and rainbow. I'm starting to get hot. I was freezing in the beginning, and that's all the plasma systems coming in. So I was like, I could feel the plasma and the energy coming in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone has noticed. They can't go unnoticed. There's massive shifts. And if you're able to tune into your Merkaba, you should be able to see where they're all stationed at. And there's long lengths too. Some of them look circular.
Do they look kind of like in your background there?
Yes. I was like chose the picture, but they look circular with rainbow frequencies. A lot of people think they're Galactic Federation, but they're not.
I'll have to tune in.
And some of them are really long. Super long. Shanti. So that's why I was like, I wonder if I can't be the only one seeing them, because a lot of my family are taking pictures and sending them to me, and they're like everywhere.
Wow.
Okay. Morgan, they're saying going back to you.
Going back to me.
If we're tuning, I feel like it could be completed though. The transmissions for her. is what they're showing me. So if you are able to tune into anything.
So I'll go back a little bit and yes, okay, perfect. So there was one thing they showed, Shannon, and instead of like trying to do like a great big, instead of trying to do a great big step, what they were trying to get across was the image of a trampoline, where, you kind of bounce down, you go down a couple feet into the, in the trampoline, and then you go up a couple feet, then you come back down. And that might be important to you in terms of like, maybe not try to go to the 12th dimension overnight. I mean, you can if you want to, but you might want to just kind of springboard up a little bit and kind of have a look around in the 5th, the 7th, or that beautiful little bus with all the aliens, have a look around and then come back down. And that might be kind of like a safety valve for you type thing. So you can think about that. It's a suggestion. And there was something about, oh yeah, did you want to do like an inner child thing or something like that right now? Did you ever do exercises with your inner child?
Yeah, I've never done anything like that.
Okay, so this is kind of for everybody watching, and I can see the comments. So people have seen those big ships as well, Akashas. Yeah, some people are talking about
that. Feeding your soul, right? So that's something that I hear continuously, but that could be because I read Lisa's book all the time. So it's like I keep that book next to me. So that's a part of my inner child for remembering. But feeding the soul and seeing what can you do every day for feeding the soul and to play. But go ahead, Morgan.
So I haven't done this before, so I haven't done this exactly before. So this is really cool. So Shannon, when you're ready, do the crank the neck, wiggle the fingers, whoever wants to join in, get relaxed, just sit up as straight as you can, or whatever's comfortable. Feet on the floor, wiggle the toes. And what they're showing me, and breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I know most of you know how to do this already to relax. And when you're ready, just imagine yourself sitting in a very nice, comfy chair in the middle of a large room. It's a nice temperature. There's pleasant lights. It's nice, not too dark, not too bright. Perhaps there's music. And so what you're going to do is, with your third eye, you're going to place yourself at about maybe 2 years old in front of you. And then you're going to place kind of next to him, kind of like a campfire circle. You're going to place like a 4-year-old, then maybe a 6-year-old, 8-year-old, so on and so forth, up until some of you maybe 12 years old, maybe 15. For a couple of you, you might go into your 20s. It just depends. And just see how they're doing. And what I mean by that is tune into, like, what's the 2-year-old wearing? What's the 2-year-old eating? Is he or she crawling? Do you hear mom and dad? Do you hear mom yelling about something? Do you hear silence? And perhaps the 4-year-old, you, there's a little brother, a little sister, or an older brother and an older sister. Perhaps that's coming into that little scene. Perhaps your food's changed. See how your clothes have changed. And just for now, go to about the 8-year-old, and the 8-year-old's going to have toys. They're going to be walking. They're going to be talking. What kind of words are they saying? What kind of experience have they had? So that, is their heart open? Is their heart closed? Do they get their way every time? Do they get spanked? Do they pass you the ball? Maybe there's somebody's playing baseball or soccer. Do they play with you in the chair in the center as the adult? Or do they say, hell no, no way, Jose? Go up to maybe the 10-year-old. The friends have changed. There's different clothes, there's different beliefs, there's different language. Maybe a different city for some of you folks. Perhaps you've moved. How did that feel? How did it feel to be that from the 8-year-old to the 10-year-old? How did it feel? How would the 4-year-old talk to the 10-year-old? Kick him in the shins? You're a big jerk. Or maybe you're too bossy, or maybe you're really nice because you shared an ice cream cone, or 100 other things. How would the 16-year-old version of you talk to the 2-year-old version of you? Would it have a clue how to change your diaper? How did the language change? When did you start to swear? When did you start to notice the gender you're interested in? What age was that? What kind of emotions came up for you when you noticed boys or girls or whatever it was for you? Was there embarrassment? How did that first kiss feel? How would you explain that to your 2-year-old self if you needed to? And I'm going to stop talking for a moment, but just pay attention to the interactions. Like, is the 2-year-old crawling towards the 16-year-old, or is the 16-year-old off smoking drugs over by the school, or whatever the situation is for you? Just breathe into that for a moment. I'll be back. If you need a suggestion, walk over to one of the children and see if they come into your arms or onto your lap when you're sitting there, and have a little conversation with them. Maybe they need to talk. Maybe they need a hug. Maybe they need you to help find their little dolly that got lost. What would you say to the 16-year-old? Nobody needs to hear it. It's just you. And take a moment and look around. Even just in the short time, has anything changed? What I mean is, have the children gotten new clothes, new haircuts? Perhaps somebody had a bath. Perhaps there's a smile on a face where there was no smile before. Just notice it. And as we start to come out, just have a look at one of the smaller children. The one who's, you'll know the one who's a little quiet, the one who's a little shy, a little scared. Pick them up if they want it. Hold out your arms like for a hug and see if they jump into your arms. And I bet you they will. And just hold them and give them the biggest hug. And when you're ready, look at all the children and say, you are me and I am you, and I won't ever leave you again. You can come with me if you wish, and we'll go have adventures again. I'll protect you like you couldn't be protected before because I know better now. And when you're ready, thank everyone that's there. Say goodbye, give a hug, give a kiss, give a quarter for an ice cream cone. And let the light slowly dim until you're there all alone as the adults. But you can still feel the children because they're a part of you and you're a part of them. And that, my dear Shannon, is how you do at least one way of inner child work. By bringing it in, into the physical, into the real.
Thank you.
And yeah. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that. Keep going with the exercise anytime you want. That was very cool. It's very cool. Thank you for sharing that, Shannon. Like I said, I hadn't done that exactly before.
Feels like like universal alignment. I'm putting her back in universal alignment. The inner synchronizing, just synchronizing her within. So centered. I feel centered. Like more centered, 0 point. So thank you. You're
welcome, Jamie. I think that's good for now, unless you had some other questions or anything, Shannon, or did we cover the bases?
Oh, I'm sure more than the bases, yeah. There's a lot to digest, I think, but that's cool. I mean, I'm intrigued about what's done at the 12D and what can be done, and collapsing all these things and doing all these things. It's gonna be interesting. I think the biggest thing for me will just be a more regular practice or discernment at the Merkaba, and being able to really get into it and feel it and see it and be it more. So being able to meditate much better than I can right now, and just let go, shut the mind down and just let go. That's probably one of my biggest things right now, just to do these things and change it up and see what cycles I can break, what old systems, or why am I writing everything down? I don't know.
And I know Akasha has videos on the Merkaba. I don't know what they're called. She's got a lot of great videos, but that you might want to dig through her archives.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
There's a class that we did recently, and that was the Starseed Evolution United, and that was a Merkaba Mastery class. Okay. It's 5 hours long, but you have to scroll through it. You have to scroll through to be able to get to the Merkaba, the good stuff.
Okay. Oh, that remind me of something. I just saw today there's a thing for the Kundalini that's coming up in a couple days or 2 or 3 days. You're doing a workshop, I believe, and that came up just the other day for me, saying that supposedly that would be a really good thing for me to practice, is that tantric Kundalini breathing methodology or whatever. Do you guys get a vibe off of that would be a good thing for me to practice as well?
Yes, it's like we'll be teaching something a little bit different as, as usual. So then you can tell my universal soul definitely has integrated now. Laughing, just saying it's going to always be nothing of the old. So so it's yes, breath work. Okay. Breath work and visualizing the source currents. The source current activating within the root as you breathe to the crown chakra or whatever chakra resonates with you. So yes, we call them source currents. You can call them serpent energies, and that it doesn't. There's no right or wrong way. And just visualizing through breath as you exhale. When you exhale is when you will visualize the Kundalini current moving up, okay, or in a spiral. When you breathe in, as you exhale, you'll be pushing the ultraviolet Kundalini source currents to the top of the crown. So when you are in exhale breath,
yes,
that's the push.
Yep. I've only done it once that way, like practice what they call the sacred sexuality serpent risings or whatever as the individual. It was my first time ever with the Kundalini breathwork and rising. It was more than I bargained for, I think is the way I'm going to put that. Yeah, so for anyone else listening, it's like maybe it's not always gentle the first time that you do this and open up these activation lines, because whatever's there, I figure, why did I do that to myself? But if I'm like, if I scripted this for myself, I know I did it so I could never forget how much power was there. That's just bottom line. Like it was like being electrocuted. That's how I'll tell everybody. So you're in the moment and I'm like, just breathe. Like my brain was telling me, just breathe. And it was so much flow that my hands curled in like I couldn't move. I was just on my patio in the sunshine thinking this can be a great easy breathing exercise, and that's what happened. I'm like, holy crap. But when it was all done, like an hour later, and I came to and everything let go, you know, you're shaking and you're like, oh my God. But then I'm like, oh my God. I was like, that just happened. And that was from within me. I don't even know where it came from, right? Like I really, what you mentally think is going to happen is not it. So after that, I never really went back and did it because I have there's fear there, right? There's a bit of, oh my God, is that going to happen to me again? So I was looking at that workshop thinking that might be a really great thing for me to partake in, just so I'm in a group guided session and not winging it, I guess is the way to put it. So yeah.
Yes. This is more Egyptian techniques that was taught by the higher version of me, and it's called Solo Tantra. So it's white diamond lotus. It will be with the transmission of Aphrodite, and that's the crystalline temples that I saw that I'm supposed to anchor, which is like that's my highest pathway on the whole planet, is to bring in to bring fully anchored, which is funny, right? Because it's like that just opened up for me, and I was like, what? When I asked what is my highest mission, they said the crystalline temples of Aphrodite, the remembrance of self-love, and also Christ consciousness, pure intelligence. And what exactly does that mean? Okay, but there is much more than that. So the crystalline kingdoms of Aphrodite, and also Hermes too. So when I tuned into it, the transmission is going to be guided with Aphrodite, And it will be with Aphrodite first, and then we'll move into transmissions with Aphrodite and Hermes. But to me, they're just, it's both. To me, it's both currents in the body. So it's very similar to Shiva and Shakti when I tune into those, when I tune into the consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That they represent, they will represent like Hermes. Hermes will be your solar, which is your right side, and then Aphrodite is the will be your silver, your like your lunar. That's a part of the diamond body too. Will be that lunar energy and that divine feminine. So that would be your left side of your body, and that is the universal male and female. So we all knew about the Heroes Gamos and the Hermes and Aphrodite and the Christ consciousness, sacred marriage, intermarriage, exterior marriage, you know, soul partnership. So everyone has been in that space. This is solar. So this is the solar Hermes and Aphrodite frequency templates. So it's a frequency and a consciousness of an embodiment of your inner sacred union. Okay. And that's how I can put it in for words right now. But that's what was shown to me, is that that my highest path is going to fully develop the crystalline schools of Aphrodite, which is the crystalline kingdoms, the teachings, the mystery schools, to bring those back fully online in purity.
Mm-hmm.
So in purity. So it's nothing of the old. What you know of Tantra, like, yes, like one of my guides who is Ra, the sun god, okay? Yes, before the fall of Atlantis. So he says we could be running into a few things in the future. And I was like, okay, he says, so, and I was like, but you're going to teach them the pure way, okay? And I go, all right. So there was like this really big opening. I was like, why? Why? You know, kind of like all these questions. But yes, you know, and I was like, all right, so that's the ego going. So it's purity. The white lotus tantra is solar tantra, and that really is for just simple techniques. How I was taught, and just for you to know, everything that you did was to activate your Stargate. Okay. Okay. So I just want you to kind of go back to that point. The one talking in the head and just saying, just breathe, you know, kind of communicating here, that's your higher self.
Okay.
Okay. So your higher self transmits here.
Oh. Okay.
And that's the higher version of you. Eventually it'll open up enough. You did it to activate your Stargate. You did it to activate Merkaba. That's why it was so extreme, because we hold lots of density in the body. Yeah. And that's all that it took. So it's beautiful the way that it is, right? And it really is. And it's electrical, but that was your higher self just saying, yeah, just breathe. Why blow you open? Because it was my higher self who did that too. And it was electrical current. And then when I woke up, my universal soul said, so go run and go get some electrolytes and lots of water. And I was on fire for 2 weeks. So the higher self won't care. And then would just go, we'll be fine, just hold on. So that was my experience. He was like, are you ready? You know, are you truly ready? But that was really for the universal soul to integrate. And it was not too much longer after that. It was probably just 6 months that eventually the universal soul is here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the oversoul or the universal soul, and there is a difference. The universal soul eventually went here to the heart. Okay, so I could hear clearly here, and here loud. Your oversoul and your universal soul will be very loud. That's how you know you cannot miss this version of you. There's no quietness. It's like a surround sound. Okay, so they will be here amplifying, and then it was 6 months later when everything burst into the heart, and I could hear my universal soul in my heart going, hello, and I was like, oh my God. So I think anyone going that fast would go, oh, I've lost my mind.
Yeah.
I can hear my universal soul in my heart amplifying through the heart grid. Okay, so eventually I started to kind of turn everything on.
Yeah.
And eventually I sat there like this for a very long time, and I was still smoking cigarettes at this time. So it was not a good combination. The light body fully activated, the oversoul here, fully integrated on a full crystal system. Not a good combination. You'll be dying the whole time smoking. And I was sitting like this, going like freaking out because I needed the cigarette because I was losing it. And I was asking my universal soul all these questions, and I would sit there and like lean in, and I would ask questions and I'd get a response. I said, this is the most coolest thing I've ever experienced. I said, so where are we going next?
Did you take a puff? That's awesome.
It was a good moment. I'll never forget it. And I was like sitting like this going, oh my God, this is crazy experience. So once, and the combination was not good. So eventually the cigarettes had to go, but that was my only time with my oversoul that I could hear the universal soul was talking to me. So then everything turned on, and I was like, oh, it's the chamber. It's the vortex to the Merkaba. And you'll hear music eventually. So the first process is that the universal soul fully integrates into the heart. And you'll hear your universal soul amplifying through the heart and talking to you. Okay, so it's really bizarre when you can hear it in our chamber. You'll realize it's the Merkaba, the super system. So
right.
it takes
We're so used to it up here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's they call it electromagnetics, but that's not always true for everybody. If you have a diamond system or a full body system, or if you have a time traveler system, your time traveler system is going to be a lot different. It will look like a full crystal system, full crystallized system. It's a lot different, and it's a full body.
Okay.
So it's a full body system.
So your homework, Shannon, is to figure out if you're whole body system or heart system, or
it's like a full body system, full body chamber. It's actually interesting when you tune into it. So they're talking, then I could hear music. Then you could hear your stargates, and I could hear music through the heart playing in my heart center.
Aww.
So really loud music, and I forgot the name of the song. Oh, Father Figure or whatever.
Oh.
Through the
song.
I woke up cracking up laughing. And I was like,
I love that. Yeah,
that was actually funny. That one was a good one. And you could hear, so I would sit there and I would be talking, and I could receive, because it's like, oh wow, you're really excited that you can talk to your universal soul. Then I remembered how everything worked. And then you could hear music, and you hear music and harmonics, and it's actually really beautiful. And then I could talk to all of the councils through my heart.
Oh, wow.
So then I was able to learn really fast how all of us telepathically communicate through the heart. Telepathically. So when you come to me to the future, your future self is talking through crystal diamond light and moving your hands like this, but there's no words, like we don't speak, so like that. And I had to learn that really fast and to remember all of it. And I was crying and I was a mess. Eventually the cigarettes attachments will go, fly off, because it is an attachment. Eventually you'll see it fly off of you. And because your spins are too fast. You're spinning too fast. And I had to learn everything really super fast with a bunch of travelers and time travelers from the future. So we had to sit there. And the systems, it's not a Vesica Pisces system. And we're all like, you know, it's like all this teaching and training, all like a light speed. And then they're like, now we want you to go teach everyone.
Right.
So that was like, I said, okay, so how are we going to do this, right? Anyways, I was like, you know, virtual. That was, so there's, when that happens, you were activating your Stargate. The one thing is that I kept going into contraction state after, and with more after we were done with whatever it was really fast. So the contraction state is then called the integration, but that's the fear in the body of the unknown.
Okay.
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 It's the unknown. Those are like those would be considered your wires.
Oh, okay.
So you're like, I'm never doing this again. Well, that's a part of a wire system. So you shouldn't have to, I don't feel like you'll ever go to that extreme though, is what I'm tuning into. It'll never go back to what you experienced because it was to activate your Stargate.
Right. Yeah. No, it's just more of do it with some guidance the next time. So yeah.
So this is new, and that's, we'll kind of navigate it, but it's very new. It's really going to touch in on purification, recoding the physical body, which is the crystal system.
Okay.
So self-love and how to reprogram the physical body, reprogramming the crystals in the body for pure love and self-love.
Okay.
There's so many layers upon layers upon layers upon layers when you start to remember the purity of your body. Okay, so mind, body, soul. And that's, to me, connecting to the White Lotus Tantra. White Lotus Tantra reconnects you to source, to source or the Sophia, to God consciousness, whatever resonates within your heart. So it's for you to remember that your body is holy and that you are a sacred holy being, and you are sacred holy being no matter what your pathway you took in the matrix. So I feel like I do feel like souls that will be coming and guiding into our space with our new teachings within these crystalline temples, and then also our White Lotus Tantra. They will be guided because they most likely will be on a frequency resonance with me, and through experience of how I gave my power away, I gave my body away. There was a lot there, and there's a lot more there in galactic terms too, but we're going to keep it what we call PG for a while. So we have to call it, we'll have to, and we're going to have to kind of recode in a different way, because it's like baby steps is what we want to say. So there's many layers as you reconnect to source, as you reconnect to the crystalline source consciousness and the crystalline source God consciousness. When you remember the Sophia frequencies inside of your physical body, you will remember the Christ and light essence, consciousness, light grid of who you are, and you will be shedding many layers. There would be a lot of opening, lots of crying, lots of releasing, lots of questions too, and lots of repair and rewriting and beautiful heart expansions, blissful states of consciousness once you're able to move those layers off in the sacral and then the root chakra. And some of us might not have those, we don't have chakras, because I've seen many of those come into our space, and that's beautiful. So we'll focus on the crystals in the body, but it's the density. It's honoring all of those spaces. So I feel like I will have more frequency aligned of from the beginning. So from the beginning of infant until my 20s and 30s. So I think about 33, or I think it was 33. Yeah, 33, because that was my I'm going to say my third awakening. I had my third awakening at 33, and that was the completion of the completion of the old earth completely, of those pretty much everything. That was completion. That was the awakening of the holy vessel. That was the temple of the crystalline holy vessel. What does that feel like? Many different passageways, many different releasings, sexual misery programming, big time. So lots of clearing for 2 years with tuning into sexual misery programming, predator systems. There's a lot there. It was about 2 years of massive purifications and cleansing, all different types of recoding, and then vibration. So what is that, right? Vibration, energy, heart-to-heart connections. What is connection? So many questions. Vibrating and vibrating with your partner, and doesn't have to be sexual. Okay, so where does that come from? Kind of moving through those patterns that you have to dissolve. Where did it start? What were you programmed with? Where did you feel like that you had to be sexual with everyone? So what is sexuality, creation energy? There's lots of recoding. Lots of recoding, lots of belief systems that will move and shed very fast. So there's so many unraveling. So I do feel like everyone, at least for the next few years, will be frequency aligned from to our frequencies. I'm going to say our frequencies, where we can all resonate and to clear for the collectives. So all the women, beautiful women that have signed up so far, the Tantra workshop is going to be collective clearing for the beginning of creation portals, and that's coming from Ra, the sun god. Yeah. So the beginning of the creation portals. So infant, we'll be clearing for children, and that's where everything starts at, is going to be the beginning. So we'll be starting at the beginning of time, in prehistoric time. That could be true. We'll go look at that. So it's definitely, it will be collective as we're able to just practice simple techniques. Those techniques are going to assist with the sacred temples, your inner temples, your ascension temples. So we say mind, body, soul. I just don't use the word mind. So universal mind. Then I feel like that's a good residence there.
Cool. Very quickly, I know this is getting long. The last question I had, and sort of it ties to this, as we go through this, and we're activating ourselves, and all these things are happening, and when we're in the middle of, we let go of the old career, we've walked away from everything we knew, but we're in the limbo state. We're not sure what's coming next, where to go, where to turn. But I know for myself, I keep getting sort of advice, not to return to corporate, like just to stay open and see what shows up, sort of thing. based on everything that we've talked about here, is it sort of that thing where you hold space and every day is a new day and just whatever pops up, you kind of go with it and whatever happens, happens. It's not like we have to go out there and start looking for something that aligns with what we're now focused on or now doing. Is that sort of the way this goes in the earth versus, 3D version of us versus what we're trying to accomplish?
Kind of tuning in. We're no longer in the 3D versions anymore. So anyone listening, see how you guys can rewrite that frequency. Remove 3D completely from that frequency, because we are way past this. See if you can integrate a new light. Okay, so that's the first transmission coming in, right? Going into frequencies, and then I'll let Morgan answer in just a second. Just kind of visualize and see if you see whatever you can see and recognize, and just visualize it just moving out of your frequency bands. So when you see it, see if you can tune into a color, and just close your eyes and see. Can you see purple? Can you see pink? Okay, see if you can see green or red, and tune into the frequency and vibration. See if you can tune into colors. See if we can remove words and just see it vibrating, and just vibrate it out. So just seeing and feeling it. Sometimes the system is still upgrading, so you will see it in a few years as you start to activate the crystalline diamond codes, and it's in the body. So when you start recoding, you're recoding naturally with the communication of your crystals. You'll be able to see them communicating and talking. Your sound frequency music, and they'll recode in the physical body. And you'll see flashes of light coming out of your chest. It's like a new transmission. You'll be able to see it as they start recoding. Your physical body naturally will show you everything that still needs to, like the frequency, the color, everything that's still upgrading. So it's just like an upgrade. So you'll see, oh, how could I never see that? It's like big breakthroughs. The big breakthroughs, and you're like, how was I never able to see it? It's just because it's kind of like breaking down the energy's density. So as the density starts to lift off of you, it's the density moving off. As the density goes out, you see black. You see black particles. You see black particles, and it'll look like a what is it? Octopus, like an ink. Some of them look like an octopus ink flying off of you, and then you'll have your breakthrough. Your big aha moment. They'll look like black ink. flying off. You might have some spirit attachments that will fly off. Some of them are cute, but they're also black too. And they'll be like, and they really do fly at it. They'll fly out of the top of your crown, out of your Merkaba. So you'll see those too. There's nothing to fear. It could just be something that can go. It could be from like 20 years ago, stuck on your body. I'm not afraid. Please transmute me back to source. My God.
Time to go.
Thank you so much. It's like, and you wouldn't know that it's there. It does happen. It's bizarre. I'll be like, wait, I'm finally going back because it's going up and out with the chute.
I need that cigarette, damn it. Get back here.
Yes. It was just like, right? I've seen some funny ones fly off. It's like they call it the old there's old framework, but that's the difference between little friendly entourages that you could have that are really keeping that shield on your heart so nothing happens to you. They're your entourages you can't see. So it's true. It's like the you guys, is it Fraggle Rock? Have you guys ever seen Fraggle Rock?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's them, right? Guardian.
Oh, okay.
Fraggle Rock, having a party. You know, it's like, it's funny. It's like a guy comes up to ask you, you know, you want to go have coffee with me? And they're like, what? No. Walk away. That's your entourage. That's your fear of Fraggle Rock entourage. Just says, what? Don't you even come near anything? Come on. Those got to go too. They're your little Fraggle Rock friends. For creation from childhood. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is not all of them are bad.
That's cute.
That would have been for me for sure.
Mine would be the two angry dudes in the balcony from the Muppets. Remember them? Like,
But
oh.
The hecklers.
That's your entourage that keeps you protected, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's true. The sacral, whew, it might have a big one because mine did. I didn't realize how many. I was like, wow, it's like a party. I went to go look. It's like a party, a little Fraggle Rock party. That's my heart. That's like the system. Like my Stargate Merkaba plays with me. The Merkaba plays. And it's like a party, surround sound, sacral, making sure nothing gets through. No one ever comes in. And he's like, that's pulling off layers. Like the system becomes a super quantum computer system. It becomes a party that's your avatar talking to you. So the avatar is the director. And there's many different versions, but that one's hilarious. And says eventually it could just be one, you decide to let go, and all of your little creatures, your entourage, fly out. I call it fly out the shooter back to source. It's a creation from childhood.
And then it gets upgraded. Yeah, or disappears completely. Yeah.
It was something from child, but that's what, you have to kind of, you tune in, you'll have those too.
Okay.
So don't ever be scared of your entourages because you're little, so they're like the ones that kind of that protection grid. And it could be created, you want to continue talking to your inner child. Okay. But that's what it's like. Yeah, it's like in the sacral. That's what having a party.
Cool.
I've forgotten what the question was, but I think it got answered.
Did it? Okay.
Because what I was going to say, it was something to do about manifesting opportunity.
Yeah.
I think that's what started off. And the old three, I agree with getting rid of the old 3D version of, work hard, 9 to 5, pound the pavement, just work the phones. And it's not that that's not valid, or it's not that it's not, good, so to speak, because there might be a time and a place. But get into alignment with who, and I'm talking to everyone here, not just Shannon, but get in alignment, sort of the Abraham Hicks version of it, in terms of get into alignment with what it is. So if you want to be of service to others, that kind of negates the whole, it might negate being a stockbroker, or it might, like the traditional 3D version of it. You might still be a stockbroker, but you might be like a new kind of stockbroker who's not trying to get every penny out of a client, you know, churn it, as they say in the industry, there might be something to it, and it's to align with it. And the alignment magnetizes the opportunity to you. And so like when Akasha was talking about the colors, it could, like, we'll go with the stockbroker, but it doesn't matter what it is. So it might be that you need to change jobs, change corporations, change whatever. And what I was seeing like a trail of red to a different section of town. And so that would be the guide potentially to magnetize you to a new opportunity, and kind of like breadcrumbs. That's what I took from the color discussion. But you're not, you're active, but you're active, but you're deactive, because it's more like come in resources. So you go for coffee sometime and you overhear a conversation and they're looking for a new stockbroker. And you were goofing around having a coffee and, you know, washing your car, you know, whatever. And you got a new job. You got the new opportunity because you magnetized it. That's my version of it. No Fraggle Rock here.
Yes, it's the system.
Yeah.
It's my Stargate laughing, you know, I guess opening up to show some new ways of looking. I could be pulling off flares, but we're going back. So you want to magnetize it. Kind of remove the veil of 3D, because we have to do 3D or this or that. Those are all excuses to your awakening, and that's not for you. I'm just kind of giving that transmission, okay? Those are excuses, because we tune into the collective, we're like, well, that's the illusion and the resistance right there. And that's where we're saying the computer. So it's the old computer that is still upgrading. So you won't be able to see that illusion until you activate and integrate more photonic light, right? And then you will see that you can. Do you want to bring Oscar? Hold on. Come here, bud. You can sit with me for a bit.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Beautiful Oscar. He's retreating.
Wow.
Give me back my kid. This is Oscar. You're stealing my kid. I'm bored. This is it. Come back. He transmits pink light code. Come on.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so a lot of them are coming into our shamanic course. So there's our serpent activation. So it's like that you just got your light codes from Oscar, and Oscar is developing his rainbow light body, and he showed me that because his tank is underneath the pile of Indara's, and it's the rainbow Indara set. So I say, I don't even think you're there anymore, buddy. I always sit there laughing. I was like, are you sure he's probably teleporting somewhere? He's activating his rainbow light body. So he'll be transmitting rainbow light codes and pink codes. So I feel like it's all transformational energy. Going back to magnetizing, when that separation, right? So like I said, excuses for resistance, not being able to see resistance. 3D, and that's fine because it can happen. I was there too, and I would say these words as well. I would say the words too. 3D, 5D, whatever, it doesn't matter. So kind of playing around with words, magnetizing. Let's say that you're a stockbroker. Well, you could anchor in a really cool template, actually. You can anchor in a massive template as a stockbroker.
Yeah.
You can upgrade. And you can activate your marker body, and you would learn how to go linear and non-linear, but you have to want it. You know, you will have to be your true and authentic self. To magnetize it, to anchor in that template, you'd have to walk into your office in the plasma field, and how you would just tell anyone that's working for your assistants, well, I'm in the plasma field, so I'm going to be walking funny, and you can make a little bed in your office, because if you're a stockbroker, I would think the office could be big, but I don't really know. Okay. So it's like you would just you would have to anchor in everything that you would need in that office, and you would be anchoring in that template where you think it's non-linear and linear. You don't have to do that anymore. Everything has shifted. The vibrational frequencies are so high that you could go, well, I'm going to take the linear and non-linear, and I'm merging it together, and it's going to be completely non-linear. You would anchor in that high template, and you would go into the office every day, and you would amplify your light outwards, and you would just tell your assistant or whoever was there that this is what it is. And if it becomes crazy, then you can figure out how to go somewhere else, or you would materialize and recreate a whole new reality, and you would be a stockbroker somewhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So these are, but yes, it's like a magnetizing, seeing how you can kind of remove all those veils of 3D physical. 3D physical is no longer 3D physical anymore. Okay. So it's all going to be HD vision. I'm just going to say HD vision, so that could be higher dimensional, but let's not use the word higher dimensional. Let's just say that it will be elevated, that's fine. Elevated states of consciousness. So just see how you can kind of switch the words.
Okay.
But yes, we're gonna you guys can wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to stay on, and I'm going to answer just a few questions today. So
Okay.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Beautiful Morgan. I'm thinking maybe we could do it once a month, is what I was thinking.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Thank you, Shannon, and it's been beautiful. And I'm going to ask my question in the chat box, and because I had a question too.
Okay,
So,
go ahead.
Oh, now? Okay. So it has to do with lessons, and it has to do with, like you said, the fifth dimensional was love, but there's love in third dimension and fourth dimension and all that. So I guess it has to do with like life lessons, and it has to do with like there's let's just say there's 3 cups of love in the third dimension and 3 cups in each of the other dimensions. They're life lessons. So you knock those down and you've completed your life lessons for love in the third dimension. Can you skip? Like, let's just say, like, I want to learn a 7th dimensional love lesson, and then you kind of knock it out. Do you have to go do you have to go all the way through the dimensions? Or can you go, give me a 12th dimension master smack in the head, and then you get it, you learn it, and then you don't need to do it again. Do you know what I mean? Is that what you mean?
That's our love, Morgan. that was funny right there. Right. That's our love. But yes, okay, we'll go ahead, keep going. What else is there?
Well, because it would be really cool, like, let's just say somebody who's really focused on love, for example, but it could be money, it could be war, it could be just about whatever you want it to be. Mm-hmm. You could complete all your missions, so to speak, in like the higher dimensions. Then you'd be like a very dedicated soul to, in this case, love, because you've knocked all that I call it knockout, but you've completed all your learning, and then you come back, and let's say but you didn't spend any time in the family unit. So you would start to do all of your family unit type stuff to catch up. I don't know. It was just a weird combination of, is it linear, or can you pick and choose your lessons?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Breaking it down, first thing, you would want to wrap up your lessons. Okay. Passive dimension, there is no lessons. Okay. If you are still experiencing lessons, it's because you're giving your power away. I can at least say you're giving your power away, and you will have to keep doing some inner work and love yourself. Pull away. And I will tell you, pull away for 6 months to a year. and turn off your phone, and really, if it's really soul dedication, then you will always pull away. You will know when to pull away, and I'll tell you why. Because of frequencies. If you are continuously experiencing lessons, you can mark all your lessons completed. So this is one. You can learn how to program your system and to mark all of your lessons completed, remove the hard drive to the 3D and the 4D completed. Okay. If you are going to continuously vibrate with consciousness that is mirroring in your consciousness, and it is consciousness frequencies, so we'll use frequencies in consciousness, your frequencies within your body. Okay, so if you are continuously allowing those people, places, things inside the field, then you will still experience lessons. And this holds a purpose just for a second. So just kind of just sit with me. Okay, so that inward. So 6 months to a year. Remove distractions. How do you do that? You'll figure it out. If you truly, 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 truly want that bliss and that happiness and that joy, and you want that, those expansions and that soul dedication, you will do everything to remove it completely. Okay. And to continuously see where are all those distractions really quickly. So inner developments of self-love for 6 months to a year. The ego will tell you all kinds of things and will say the F word, or, go fly a kite. I'm not doing that. And that's all your ego. So that's all the Luciferian programming you'll have to clear for many years. Okay. You'll have to be okay with that for a few years. That's natural through solar light and solar photonic light. Okay. So eventually you'll learn how to have fun with it. You'll be by yourself for 6 months going, oh, well, let's get this out. You'll be jumping up and down and playing out Roman times and medieval times and have swords out and running around. I think we used curtain rods recently. That was fun. Kind of moving everything out, running around with curtain rods and, running and flipping and doing all kinds of cool warrior stuff. And that's to get the energy out, right? So if you are a warrior, somehow continuously a warrior, you'll be running around getting it out, but you're in your own space, you're having fun, you're in a high vibration, so that's different. Instead of playing it out in all of these sadness and those are loops. So you'll be able to see loops. It's like sadness and pain. It's like all these scenes, right? And that's where you give your power away. So those are different, those are lessons to me. So and when you go into what they call the 5D, or the elevation of conscious dimensions, once you switch that board off, and it's board, so you just turn the board off. Turn the board off, turn the 3D off, turn the 4D off, mark everything completed, and you can go activate, install, and run this through the universal time matrix, through all time and space, and all spaces and time. Boom, you'll start to see everything collapse. Then you can access anything. You can program the 12th dimensional bands completely. And you will just go in and say, I'm going to program the 12th dimensional crystalline band, but I hope that you're ready for the deconstruction of your life. When you do this, okay, because it has to deconstruct. So in reality, it's like, I don't know why, but they're showing Morgan with a little cat just standing there going, oh my God. But that's your crew on your end with the cat. Why he's standing there going, oh my God, everything's really, like melting, like plasma. It's bendable. Nothing is solid, and you're seeing everything like the 12Z would be bendable.
Well, and that's why
plasma.
I'm really careful, because I've been wanting to break out of the matrix, right? Like I want to see beyond the, I want to break, I don't want to break the matrix, because then it turns into plasma and I've got a little cat and my team's laughing at me. But I want to see beyond it, right? So it has to do, I can see.
So it's they're showing, so what they're showing me next is that the walls will be moving.
Right.
And then everyone goes completely, and they do for a few weeks.
Mm.
So when you start programming it and you're saying, I'm ready for the 12D, well, that's awesome. So you have to wait for everything to materialize to that dimensional grid.
Okay.
So it's all plat. You'll see the walls bending and you'll see everything deconstructing and everything has to go and your toilets probably will go and the plumbing will start maybe. And that's all a part of the process. And then everyone will come in and start fixing everything and the toilet's brand new again. And so that those are deconstruction, reconstruction, but you'll be able to see everything bending, right?
Right.
So you can, once you get to that stage and you say, yes, we're going to do this, you have to understand that there's all dimensions of everyone in your life. There's the 12th dimension of your cats. You see your cat teleporting. By then you'll see the cat is acting strange. Or you'll see people in your life are like way elevated and you're going, whoa, I just had like an awakening conversation with my dad, like my experience,
Yeah.
because I program my system to the 12D. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
12D.
sorry. Okay.
Everyone disappeared.
You're painting with a brush and everything gets painted with that one brush instead of now where it's like 10,000 brushes. Yeah.
It's like I had to sit and wait. So everything goes completely, everything, new bank account, everything goes. So you'll learn how to quantum jump. When you quantum jump galactic style, you'll know what has to go.
Yeah.
And it could be a lot. Everything has to go. Everything will collapse, break, shut down, or all of your portals, this abundant portals will shut down and go, so where do we go now? We're going to hop over Telegram. Okay. So it's like, that's the quantum experience in a sense, because you will see what, all new. So everything will have to be new. And then you would start to create everything new. You get color in the house and those are the plasma fields, right? Bendable. So you can create and to materialize. Okay, so you can create and to materialize. Going back to the family, it's very simple. So not everyone's going to be, not everyone there will be in the in that 12 in the 12D. We'll use 12D for a little bit in that 12D plasma field. So you go in, you'll swing in. Okay, so you swing in like you're on a swing. So now they have you on a swing, but your crew is showing that you're like on that swing, like Mission Impossible, where he's hanging from the. So you swing into the family, and you're probably going to help them get rid of all their traps, their conscious traps, and all that stuff. So that's something that they're showing that you're doing. So you'll be swinging in, and you are up, kind of like above, communicating, anchoring in that light grid, and you can tune in for a minute, and then you could see everything running in a 360 degree, because you'll catch on. Once you program the reality, you're programming the ship, like your Stargate. You'll start to see everything. You'll walk out going, okay, so let's start just dismantle all of this and start dismantling and moving it out. So you'll be up here, and you have to go all the way up, like to the top of the ship, and you will just start clearing the bands. And every single time you swing in to the family, you swing out, you sit there, look at everything in a 360 degree, always. The 360 degree, and really sit there and see all the frequencies running, because the frequencies are in your body. The frequencies are in your body, not too much theirs. And then you would move out, you would keep clearing the bands, unless your system says, the frequencies are not in your body anymore. That's a different ball game.
Okay.
So that's going to be choice.
So at some point, like, we truly become the director and we say, okay, and I'm making this up, this is totally, but like, mom's going to be a certain way, dad's going to be a certain way. And oh yeah, no more, we're going to remove this personality trait. We're going to put a new personality trait in on whoever this person is. That we're the director.
Well, yes. That's kind of funny. That's like the Angel wants to say hi. That's the the programmer station, the director. Yes. You would not too much put personalities. all depends on who your director is. It's like, but yes, so you go, you will be clear, you keep clearing the band, you go up and clear the bands, because it's what you have to kind of look at everything and keep clearing the bands. You can program it, yes you can. I programmed for my mom to watch Gaia channel, and she watches Gaia.com. She has been for almost 2 years. So wow. Yes, as the director, I had a long list of programming. So it's like, I said, oh, this would be cool. They could start watching Gaia, and I visualize them watching Gaia instead of other stuff. Right. They watch Gaia. So yes, as the director, you can say, well, what about this and what about that? Kind of just streamlines. Yes, your family. So you will just clear. Okay, and you just go up, you clear and just keep clearing the bands until your universal soul just says there's nothing we can do. It's 6 months to a year. Okay. Yeah. And then you're gonna walk in, and they're gonna be all gold beings. They'll all be flying high in the new earth and teleporting and quantum jumping, and they'll get there. So yes. So if you go in and talk, like if you're for your mom, go in and talk, or your mom or your dad or whoever the family is, you go in, as you're clearing the bands in 12D, you go in and walk up to their 12th dimension, because you can walk into any dimensions now. It's not like it was before. You can just get up and just go walk in your living room, go and just walk up to their 12th dimensional and just see what they look like. Their 12th dimensional is that future self.
I'll have to sit with that for a while, but that answered my question. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to jump off, but thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
I'm hoping that assists you.
It did. Thank you.
Bye. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go up, and I'm going to answer a few questions. Okay, so Diana, I see lots of rainbows at the top of my head, pulsating sometimes in my eyes. That is going to be your higher chakra, your halo. Your diamond halo, higher chakra activating. I call it the halo system, and that's going to be a part of your Stargate Merkaba. It's a full body diamond grid and a diamond system. So it becomes, it's no longer purple. It becomes a diamond system. So it's a diamond, and I call it the halo system. You'll see a flying saucer. It looks like a flying saucer above your head. Get some to yourself or something. Okay. So it's the rainbow frequencies. So it's the diamond transmitter. Some of it will call it the Kundalini. So then you're at your ascended master activation. So that would be the higher templates activated. And then the diamond third eye, the facets, and the rainbow frequencies that you're seeing is going to be the transmission through the facets of your diamond third eye. You'll be able to you'll see rainbows for the rest of your incarnation, and they'll tune different frequencies, different tones too. But that's going to be the diamond body, and that's going to be for Diana. So we call it the halo system, but that really is just the that's going to be your diamond Merkaba. All of your diamond crystals activating within the physical body. Transmission through the diamond grids. Some say it's the fifth dimension. That's not always true. So I would call it the cosmic trinity, or the Kundalini currents, the Kirasha. It's actually transmitting. Seems like it's more of the Kirasha frequencies, Kundalinis. Do you know anything about the green comet? Yes. I would have to say abundance. Mm-hmm. So the frequencies that are transmitting from the green comet is going to be abundance. At least to assist us within the physical, it is abundance, but it's inner abundance and inner abundance. Inner and exterior abundance. We have many templates that are coming in. So many templates from the next universe. So the green comet, to me, that was like a massive shift in consciousness, an elevation in consciousness. There was many activations. The first one is the heart chakra, which is abundance. Once your heart chakra fully opened completely, and it was able to assist with major heart chakra upgrades as it was transmitting. Elevation of consciousness. So it really does, it assists with the heart chakra completely wide open, an expansion, abundance flow, generosity and receiving is one of the transmissions. And then the next universe templates, it assisted with the merging. And this is what we have so far. So they called the next universe or new universe, but it was a full it was like a full body merge. We call it a full universal multiverse, full body universal merging. And an explosion, a light upgrade, Merkaba upgrades, templates. It was absolutely beautiful. Everyone should be able to feel that shift. And it's the heart chakra. It's like the comet riding through the heart. So it's really beautiful. Frequencies, it really all depends on what collective grade you vibrated. So I can already tune into the collectives that there's always what we call the fourth dimensional collectives most likely has another picture. So those are the scenes in the plays, we call it, over in those collectives. So it seems like they'll probably still be playing out. Armageddon softwares too. So I can tune into some of the transmissions within the no fear zone. That's fine. That's a good word. No fear zone collectives, and that would be their zero fear. Looking at it from a multidimensional view, it really shifted the conscious grids beyond what you can even imagine. I feel like within all of humanity. And it seems like through all time and space, and then also the future timelines too as well. So it was a massive shift, a timeline adjustment. So hopefully that will be able to assist. It's a major timeline adjustment to another planetary alignment, which I think it's a 5 planetary alignment in the future timelines. That is like 2,400 when you actually follow it and tune into it. So it's just an adjustment from the adjustment from the future timelines is 2,400. So it's like an it's running through all times and spaces. Going back up, as far as the ships in the skies, are they us? I'm going to say it really all depends on what collective grid, which collective grid you're vibrating in. But I'm going to say yes. Yes. Uh-huh. I always, from now on, I feel like as I look and I see through the collective grids, I'm going to say it really all depends on what vibrational frequency and your reality, right? So each one of you is an individual universe. All of you are individually your own universe. So within your universe, yes. And within, it could be another soul's universe. It could be something completely, it could just be a different transmission, different knowing or belief. So everyone is their own inner universe. Yeah. So it's all in that creation, and then everyone can create together in different collectives, collective universal pods. It all depends on which collective that you're vibrating in. Okay, so Jamie, that's going to be your sacral area. Clairvoyance is your sacral. It's your own inner relationship with you. How can I call in my clairvoyance? I feel like you are galactic energy, so I feel like you could be past the clairvoyance, the clairs, but I know that's the only wording. The words that are coming in, I guess, for your comprehension, for like your perception, is what I'm seeing. You're just galactic. You have other abilities that are coming online because that holds a purpose. Your sacral is your sacral energies. So it really is your sacral. It's your inner relationship with you. Your inner relationship, fear frequencies in your physical body. So you would have to tune into fear of the unknown, and you would look through your childhood where you held fear in your body for the first time. So it's the inner relationship, the deep sacred inner relationship with inside of you. It's your sacral. Okay, so sacral is relationships, inner relationships, communication. Everyone, we think it's the higher chakras, and it's not. So each vortex, you might not have chakras. The only reason why I'm going to say this is because I tune into your field, and you're upgrading with the Andarians. So you've been upgrading with the Andarians. You are definitely going to have all types of galactic abilities, galaxy abilities. But you tune into the blockages, and it seems it's not, I'm not going to say blockages, it will have to be the sacral and also the lower parts of your body. Decalcifying and the density. So see if you can work with orange tones for your creational portals, and keep looking within for where did you hold fear for the first time, and to go into a deep inner sacred space within inside of you. So go into your inner space, relax your body, and kind of tune into the body, and just to see where did I hold fear and anchor fear in for the first time when I was a baby. So it seems, if you tune into it, it's most likely a baby, and see if you can feel it and see a frequency and a color. See the frequency, see the color of it, and feel it just vibrate out and nurture that part of you. I'm going to say heart and the lower chakras. In a relationship with you is the first thing I hear. Fear of the unknown. Yeah. Listen to something. I hope that assists you. So just remember to tune into a frequency color. When you go into your inner space, and start at the infant. Even start a little bit further than that, through your conception. When you were conceived, your creation portals. And tune into your mother. Tune into your mother, tune into your father. Those relationships, those inner relationships of birthing you, of the creation of you, the creation. Did they hold fear? Was there guilt? Was there any denser unconscious frequencies running? To tune into those vibrations. Coming in through the creation portals and that light portal. Through the conception portals the birthing, as your mom was creating and forming you throughout the month, the 9-month of pregnancy. When your mother was carrying you, tune into those frequencies too. Tune into your father's frequencies as well, because you have a cord. You will always have a connection to both of them during that time. It's not just the women that hold that carry the children or have the cord to the children. And they do not. It's two creation portals, two beautiful creation portals. So you want to tune into both of them during that time, and tune into the frequencies and feel it, and just vibrate the distortions out of your physical body. So you want to see, was there fear frequencies, and really go into your inner space and tune into that, into your body, into your inner body, and see if you can just, every month you can work through each month. So when you were 1 month, 2 month, 3 month in your mother's birth canal. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and then be able to see yourself being birthed and rebirthed. And then you can keep moving through all of the years. This is also going to be, that could assist Paul too as well with anxiety. So see how every day you can get up and move through the birthing portals of your parents, the conception, the conceiving. And just connect and see the frequencies running, and just move it up and out the crown. And it's really simple. It should take you about 15 minutes every day. and just sit there and move it up and out and really tune into your father, tune into your mother, tune into your family, and move it up and out the crown. Was there fear? Was there hatred? Was there anger? Was there guilt? Was there betrayal? Was there deceit? Was there battling? You want to be able to tune into it. Was there really truly any happiness, or was it all just like a just a lot of people will play a part, I call it, where they play the scene. So so deceitful, they'll play, and then they'll all talk behind your back and everything, talk about you. That's deceit that goes into the children, that will go into your physical body. It's vibration, frequencies, and energy. So you can tune into that too as well. Energy and projection will go into any vessels here on the planet. I mean, our avatars strengthen the field, but those frequencies will be running. It's energy and vibration. It's consciousness that can be felt through frequency. So just see how you can just 15 minutes a day, and see if you can see the transmissions or the colors, and see the colors running. So if you see red or blue, and you can just visualize shifting them up and out and transmuting it back to source, and just saying source, and just hand it back to source, and just kind of shoot it out. Shoot it out through the shooter at the top. It's like just transmute it just back to source. Very simple techniques. And you will tune in to all the frequencies in your body. So 15 minutes a day, or just 15 minutes once a week, and start there. See if you can feel, what did your mother feel as well. Gish intuition tea. So just see how much you can tune into those frequencies running. And then once you feel like you moved all the frequencies out of those stages, then you go to your infant stage. Yes, like a fountain. Then you will tune into your infant stage. I had my root chakra open, so the source currents, the Kundalini experience, and I had so much fear from laying on my stomach that came up. And that was one of the biggest rooted causes of how much fear that I held, is because I was placed on my stomach. And I couldn't get up, I couldn't move as an infant. They would lay me on my stomach. And that's actually how I was programming with fear. Like the fear frequencies is one of the most intense traumas. So when I open up the root chakra even more with source currents and everything, all the spinal cord and in the lower chakras, the spinal cord, the tailbone started to open. And all that stagnant energy. So I'm going to say the stagnant energy was all the trauma from being placed on my stomach. And once I moved that out, I started to feel a lot lighter. And that was all through just another source current. I don't really call it Kundalini. I'm going to call it like a Gamma experience. Kind of just exploding more of that source current energy through the vortexes, and just clearing the root chakra, clearing the tailbone, opening up the spinal cord. It was more the spinal cord opening, the spine opening. Listen to Shanti. Listen to Nakata. So you definitely start at infant, 1, 2, 3, and then keep moving, and just, it's really easy. There's so much, we have so much time and space in 0 point that you should be able to get through every single age very fast. If you do it every day, it'd be faster, or you could just do it once a week. It really just all depends on how much like how much distractions you have, and that can happen too. It's a part of the upgrades of the computer. I call it, it really is. We have to upgrade for a long time. You'll be able, if you tune into what is the upgrade of the computer system, what is the upgrade of the old control panels, okay, you eventually, if you start to observe it for a long time, you won't be able to do a lot. You'll see that that's the control system, so you'll be breaking that energy down for a few years. Yes, this isn't, it's years and years of dissolving and lots of observation. So just take your time. Take your time. Listen to the. Okay, I think it's Vicky Eyes. Vicky Eyes. Vicky Eyes, it says, looking to clear energy blocks with finances, a lot of ringing in the ear. I'm going to give you a few ideas. I'm going to give you a few ideas. Unicorns. Bring unicorns into your life, into your heart. Lots of unicorns. So when I was reading your transmission, I heard unicorns, that you're going to have to bring unicorns into your life. Unicorn oracle cards, I have lots of. Unicorn altar. You have to believe again. So believing, inner child work, believing. The ringing in your ears is going to be the tuning and toning to your universe, but I feel like it's more stargates. I feel I'm seeing more stargates dialing in. And that's actually, it would be stargates opening. It's tuning and toning to your universe, or synchronizing, but I would have to say that those are going to be your diamond crystalline grids. So the ringing really is the diamonds and the crystals in the body, and they're vibrating and activating. So it's all of the crystals and diamond plasma particles that are activating, and it will sound like loud ringing, and that's the frequencies, but it's your diamonds, all of your diamond crystal plasma frequencies coming online. So that's your computer, and it's a tuning and toning. But I feel like it's your stargates. So your stargates are opening, and then your diamond grids are activating, and in the physical body. So it could seem out there, but it's actually the diamonds opening up in your body, and then your stargates. So unicorns, lots and lots of unicorns. So I will highly recommend, if anyone's ever having what they call financial issues, heart chakra. So opening up the heart chakra. Continuously open the heart grid and unicorns. Lots of unicorns, working with unicorns for years. Unicorns, believing again. You have to believe. You are the creator of your universe. You create through your heart, you create through your projector screen, create through the heart grid. Believing again. Okay. Elemental plane, I'm going to go up. I heard there is meant to be a spiral split, possibly this year. Okay, so you guys are talking about the crystal spiral, and I'm going to say it really depends on what collective universe that you guys exist in vibrationally. Okay, so it's all about your inner universe, a vibrational collective universe. Beliefs. So in that collective reality and your inner universe, yes. And I will have to say from a higher view that there's plenty of us here for that adjustment. Yeah, there's plenty of us here for that adjustment. And we have been working. So everyone has been. And it really all depends on what collective grids that you experience. You came in here on an experience. So it's your universal experience. It's your collective grid. It's a multidimensional experience. So multidimensional universes, parallel universes, higher universes. You can create your own universe now. Everyone has full access. It's available here. So if it's available here, you can create your own universe. Now, what you would do, like what I do, because I have certain missions here, and I do have collective missions. So my collective missions and my angelics, different angelic higher selves that we have. Okay. I have to fully expand to all of their needs too. A lot of the angelic humans that are my multidimensionals from different time-space continuums, yes, I will have to sit and work on the timeline adjustment with inside of the physical body. So hopefully that will be able to assist. Most of the time I will be opening up and doing whatever I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to be getting done inside the physical body, or I'll be sitting here pretty much drawing for days and bringing different geometrics and whatever it is that we have to do to get everything done in order for that split not to take place. So it really is, I mean, that's just when you are a collective universe, or if you've accessed all of your oversouls or all of the avatars, you would be working, you'd be able to learn how to make yourself very wide to be able to get everything done in those collectives, because those are your collectives. It's a collective consciousness belief system. So yes, one of my multidimensionals I would have to sit and master that mission, or to work on it. So hopefully that will be able to assist you. But that's what we do. We work on it with inside of our physical body. So I believe everyone will be working on this adjustment. Yes. Well, that's true. If it's necessary to get it done. If it is. So I'm going to say it's the reason why the true 0 point, a true 0 point would be no beliefs at all. We don't have beliefs. There's no beliefs. Well, I'm gonna say past a collective grid, there's no beliefs at all. You can do whatever it is that you want to. If you hold that belief, then you will have to continue in that collective collective grid work. I'm sure you're working on it too. It's in your physical body though. So when you go up and he says there's supposed to be a split this year, I mean, everyone knows, right? Everyone will get that mission in, right? So you would know that's a part of your angelic mission. That's a part of your indigo mission. So most likely you probably have Kundalini currents flying through your crown. You know, there's a lot of geometrics coming in, and you can see them coming in. I mean, I can see them flying off of my body every day. All these really beautiful blueprints and lots of rainbow frequencies and aurora plasmas and all these awesome geometrics and sacred geometries and well, geometrics. So I mean, it's really noticeable. And so you can see them flying off of you. It's actually projecting. So it's projecting out of the holograms of your crystals in your body. So you should be able to see them coming into your multidimensional vortexes or within your spinal cord. You'll see them start to kind of like materialize through a crystalline hologram through your spinal cord. It really depends on what system you're on. So I would have to say that everything always will be adjusted within your physical body. We do everything through the physical body. So to restore the templates or to assist with that adjustment, especially for 2023, and then we have 2027, and that will be another big adjustment. So yes, so thank you so much for everything that you are doing for the collectives. So I just wanted to tell you thank you. So that's your mission. You would know that's your mission. It's one of your missions. It doesn't have to be your mission anymore, but it is. I think it's Tara. I am actively working towards reopening my channels. However, it seems the more I do, the quieter it gets. Okay. This is that's your 0 point. So you're at 0 point. Congratulations. So you are your higher self. Anyway, that's 0 point. You're embodied with your higher self. You're fully embodied. So congratulations, you're at 0 point. Okay, so Order of the Angels. All right. It really feels like you are mastering collectives. Most of the time, okay, so that's your collective grid you're mastering right now. You will have to master it because all of us do. And it's the order of the angels. Most of the time, my big one in the house would not even allow me to answer this, just because of the collective grids that we dismantled. So I'm going to say, as far as the best assistance, just to be able to assist you, is you're going to have to go up to your director, and you're going to have to work with your oversoul. And ask you would go up and ask the oversoul to assist you with your, I'm going to have to say, with that collective mission that you're on. And then once you're able to complete it, it should be in completion soon. So you would ask your oversoul to do it, and it should be completed. Okay, so you don't have to stay in that dimensional grid if you want to. It's kind of by choice. It's soul choice. It's a soul choice. So you can go up to your oversoul, and you would just direct the oversoul to assist you. You would have to ask your oversoul to assist you, but eventually that would be completed, because an oversoul would tell you that that's a dimensional grid that you will have to master and complete. You'll never be there that long, because it's like a light speed. Like you can complete it in your dream state, and then you would go to your I guess you're going to say your next dimension. That's where a lot of people, a lot of souls on the planet, they really get stuck, kind of like in that, feel like they have to stay there for forever, and that's where that's not true. That your oversoul should be able to complete it in a light speed. Like everything should be done like that. There's no reason for you to stay in those collective grids. It's the human ego that stays in the collective grids. So it's more of the ego systems, the beliefs, all of the beliefs, the collective belief systems. So it seems like you have to break that energy down. It's like if I see something, I would just go up to the oversouls, and I would just tell the oversouls all the years ago that this is what needs to be done. And once it's done, you can shift somewhere else. You can go into any crystalline kingdoms that you want to. Crystalline kingdoms, higher earth systems. I mean, once you get past the fifth dimension, the 5D will not allow those frequency transmissions in. Or even the seventh dimension or the 12th dimension. So your oversoul will eventually have to kind of just integrate to show you. So thank you for everything that you're mastering. It's absolutely beautiful. It's almost like you'll complete it, and then you're going to figure out everything for the children. You do have a contract for children, and you do have a contract for children, because I sat there for a long time as well. I sat with a lot of work, lots of the divine feminine distortions, divine masculine distortions with children for a very long time. It's one of my highest missions, many different projects too as well. So it was like for, I think, 3 or 4 years. Once you are able to go up to the director chair, I call it, you would visualize like in your inner sacred space. You walk up to the round table, you'll be able to see all of your oversouls sitting there, and you would connect to the director and ask the director to complete it, and then you would ask for your new contracts with the children. So you do have high contracts with the children. It's you're ready for that next transition. So it was like 3 or 4 years, and then also collective clearing, burning off karma. So I think mine was like millions of collectives. I burnt karma for millions of collectives for 2 weeks. So that was like burning and frying in the body. And that also was the divine feminine templates. And that was so long ago. It was like 5-6 years ago. Literally burning up and burning it off. So that's actual collective, the Akasha. But it was like millions of soul groups. It was here on our planet. It was all connected to the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So it was about 2 weeks. So once you can actually complete it, and then you would open up a new one. And that would be a higher dimensional one. So it seems like you'll be working on the next all of the next missions. So you can still you shouldn't have to stay there for so, like, you shouldn't have to be clearing that collective grid. You have it oversouls that will be able to do it for you, get everything done. And that's like at a nanosecond. It's a little bit it takes a while to be able to, for the human aspect to even to be able to even to transmit that frequency, or to integrate that light, to integrate that frequency, that everything's at a light speed. Everything's at a light speed, warp speed. You should just be able to tell your oversoul. It's just like, if anything needs to get done within the multiverse, I would just go up to all of the oversouls and I would give them the direction. You become the director or avatars. And I would go up and say, this is what we're doing and let's get it done. And that's it. And then boom, you're like back having fun and playing and opening up new contracts and new missions. Yeah, so Order of the Angels, thank you so much for everything that you are doing. You do have high contracts for children. You can get those contracts done that you're working on it in Australia. And it should be overnight. So then you wake up and you ask for your new contracts. What are your new contracts? We're moving so fast at a warp speed, you should be able to wake up and ask for a new contract every nanosecond. Okay, so I think that's beautiful. I feel like I was able to connect to a lot of people, a lot of beautiful souls. So I hope everyone has a beautiful experience for the next few weeks. And we'll be back on March 12th. March 12th, we're going to be doing a masterclass. It's going to be a little bit different. We're going to teach a masterclass. So we're going to do advanced Merkaba training. We're going to teach you guys how to access the galactic superconsciousness within your Merkaba. So those of you that will be coming into this space, you'll need sketchbooks and pens and journals. And what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to access the green comet. So we're all going to connect to the green comet through the Merkaba screen, through the crystalline hologram screen. And where is the green comet right now? And then we're going to all tap into the super consciousness and to bring in light codes, equations, and blueprints. So we're going to tap into where it's at. Where is it at on our crystalline hologram screen? That way you guys will learn how to access galaxies and star systems within your Merkaba. And we're also going to once we're done with the green comet, we're going to go into different galaxies. So we're going to access the Virgo superclusters. And I believe it might be the pinwheel, is what I'm hearing. The pinwheel galaxy. And we're going to teach you guys how to access it on your hologram screen, which is in your Merkaba, to be able to see it in front of you, like in a 360 degree. And then we're all going to bring in codes and light codes and equations and coordinates. And we're going to teach you how to tap into the super consciousness. It's actually really easy, as long as I'm sure we'll have a group of us. So you'll need a sketchbook and pens and a journal. And we're going to teach you how to tap into the coordinates too. So it'll be lots of fun. So March 12th is going to be a live masterclass. Yes. it was a massive shift for everyone. So we hope you enjoy it. And it's going to be super galactic consciousness, advanced Merkaba training. It'll be a lot of fun to learn how to see through the projector screen of your heart and to be able to see your super system. So it's going to be super system training. And we'll have one every month. And it's going to be the same because we decided that this is how we're going to teach. You're going to learn how to access organic data. So organic data instead of a lot of the false holograms, or I call it the human consciousness perception. So you can learn how to tune in and to receive data organically. So organic information. I feel like that's really important for everyone. I really do. I feel like that it's important for everyone to access organic data, their organic data within their super system, and to connect to their higher self on a deeper integration level. That's the way I was taught. I was taught never to read anything. Never to read anything. Don't ever tune into any YouTubes. Nothing in this collective grid. It's all human perceptions. And that's exactly what the Oversoul told me. That I have to tune in to my own Merkaba, the own super system. So I did. And don't read anything. Anytime I would go in to read anything, my Oversoul would pretty much just say, just turn it off. So I'm going to show you the organic. All of the organic information. So I thought it was cool. Most of the time my Oversoul will just say those are all false holograms. So it's all false holograms and all the cool stuff you'll get to learn. False holograms, false holographic inserts. So those are just human perceptions. It's all fear frequencies, fear tactics, all kinds of stuff. It's what keeps people in a conscious grid, kind of like spinning, like hamsters on a wheel. Your higher selves are really humorous. It's like hamsters on a wheel in a spiral, and you'll be able to see the vortex. So you'll see the collectives, you'll see the vortex, all the chaos, and where it's fed to, and that's all communities. So it's like he was like, I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah. I was like, I thought it's really cool. So I took a pathway with my Oversoul, with the avatar and all the Oversouls and all the really cool experiences and the universal soul. So it's a multidimensional experience. So we feel like it's important for you guys to be able to access your own organic data with your Oversoul. We'll take it could be the Oversoul, the universal soul, and there is different transmissions on the way up. So I feel like it will be good for everyone for this year. So I hope everyone will have fun with our master classes that we're going to create. So once a month, we're going to have a master class. All of our master classes are about 3 to 4 hours, most likely, or 3 hours long. So we're really only going to do lives probably about 3 or 4 times a month, possibly, or just 2 times a month. Yes. We also have language of light videos too. So different light body activation transmissions that we started creating today. So we have a third eye activation transmission, and it's for the mermaid crystalline diamond light body. We also have a few other chakra activation transmissions that we're creating, and we'll be posting those soon. So just stay tuned. So we're just kind of tuning into a few master classes per month, and just kind of just feeling everything out. What we feel like is great for everyone for expansion, what we love to bring through for everyone. And then also creating beautiful light body activation transmissions for everyone, language of light transmissions. And then we're going to be doing, oh yes, we have, we're going to do a massive template, a huge template with Akashic. So most of our transmissions, we're completing the chakra systems. We're going to do a different series too. So those would be cool, journey series. So look forward to those. And then Akhenaten series as well. And that's all transmission journeys. You'll be working with Akhenaten. I feel like it's going to be more vibrational frequency transmission. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Enjoy those transmissions and series. So we'll be creating them. They won't be live. So once we complete them, they'll be loaded up in different series. So it's going to be a big expansion, I believe, for March, May, and April. Yeah, for 3 months. Everyone, please drink plenty of water and clean, pure water, and self-care, and eat high vibrational foods. Just make sure you hydrate after all of our lives or any of our transmissions on this channel. And have a great evening.